bridging ceremonies. My
Oh,
son goes to high school next year,
what?
so
No.
eighth. He just finished eighth grade. He's
Well,
going to high
Hadley's going to
school.
seventh, right? So yeah, I
Yeah,
guess that makes
And
sense.
Jordan's going from fifth to sixth, so they had another ceremony for her to go
Insane,
to.
absolutely
I
insane.
know, I know, I know.
Oh my God, is he ready for high school? Are you ready for your
Oh,
son to go to high school?
he. I tell people my son is oblivious. Like if the world was ending two doors down, he
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't know. He
Oh,
wouldn't know. He wouldn't know. He'd be
yeah.
like, "What? I didn't hear the apocalypse going on." Like, what do you mean you didn't hear the apocalypse? Yeah, he's oblivious. He's just I tell that's a good thing and a bad thing. Like he does he's never too up, he's never too down, he's even keel.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing seems to bother him. And I'm like, something's gotta bother you. He's like, no. No.
That's pretty good. It's a pretty good position to be in.
It's- I'm like, you ready for high school? Yeah, it'll be all right. I'll get through it.
Well, I guess there's worse perspectives to take. Holy cow.
hmm
Hadley's a
hmm
little like that, but she gets a little worked up every once in a while. Penelope, on the other hand, Jesus Christ, man, that kid is. I fear when she gets older because she's going to be just a drama queen. She's already a drama queen. So, do you guys play board games at your house at all?
Sometimes I don't like to play with them.
Okay. So, we have a game that we love to play here. It's called Sushi Go. It's like a card game.
Uh-huh.
If you've ever seen it, I recommend it 100%. It's super fun. It's like my favorite game to play with them. Everybody in the house loves playing it. Every game is just 3 rounds. There's a winner at the end, whatever. We could play 10 times. Penelope could win 9 straight. And if she loses the last one, she's like flipping tables. Man, she is so I had to just put her to bed. She wouldn't talk to me because I won the last game of Sushi Go. After she won the previous one by like a ton, and Hadley, we each won one game, and I
Uh-huh.
happened to win the last one. And she wouldn't even talk to me. She wouldn't even say goodnight to me. I was like, "Are you kidding me? You're not gonna say goodnight to me?"
No,
She would not
no.
talk.
Julian is a sore loser a little bit. I've tried to get that out. Now he plays more games, so he's getting a little bit more. But he's still like when he thinks he's better than everyone else, right? So we'll play games, and when he doesn't lose, first of all, you know me, I rub it in. I don't care
Yes.
how. I'll be like, "Oh, you didn't win," but he used to get upset. Now it's all fun and games. But he had to grow out of that. He used to be a really bad loser.
Hadley does stuff like her trash talk is funny. She's because before the first game, she's like, "I need to cut your ego down to size." That's what she told me. I was like, "Oh, that my ego, huh?"
I see you think you're gonna win. You're not gonna
Yeah,
win.
that's her trash talk. She's very funny.
This is pretty good.
So
Oh,
sometimes she's very sarcastic and very
yeah.
sharp wit and tongue. But
Uh-huh.
when it
Oh,
comes to
that's
trash
awesome.
talk, she doesn't want to like hurt anyone's feelings because she's super nice, right? So she's like I don't want to make you upset, right? Where on the other hand, Penelope, whew,
Goes
she
for the jugular.
every
Just
time,
goes.
every
Oh,
time.
that's why you haven't won in the last 14 games. I've been counting.
You're
I've been
trash.
counting.
You're trash. So she likes to write the names on the paper, and then she draws little pictures next to the names, right? So she writes cool Penelope and draws like a trophy and the number 1 next to it, and she'll do Hadley with like a frowning face or like this like ugly man in a top hat. I'm like, what is that? Hadley likes top hats. I don't know. And then she'll do frowny faces for me. Like that's her. She is just
Oh my god, that's awesome.
she's a trash talker.
That is,
She's a dance around and shake her ass when she wins sort of person too. Oh man.
you know what? I have no problem with that.
Hmm.
Right? It's just you just got to know how to
It's
lose.
you can't cry
Right?
when you lose.
It comes with the territory. Right? You have to.
Yep.
Oh man. All right. So this is going into sports realm, and I saw
Hmm.
something. So last time we spoke, we was on the show. I was high on the Knicks.
Oh
Hey,
yeah.
Nick. Right?
Yep. Yep.
Right? They lost. It happens.
Yep.
Every player in the team was injured. I get it. What pisses me off is Tyrese Halliburton.
Oh,
At
what do you say?
and he didn't say anything. At the end of the press conference, he wore a shirt. The shirt that he had was Reggie Miller doing the choke sign in
Oh
the
no.
Garden.
Yeah.
And this is my problem with that. You have to have that energy at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
You come into the Garden wearing that shirt. He came in with a totally different outfit. He changed, meaning he had
Just in case. Yeah.
two outfits,
Yeah.
two outfits in case they lost. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not with that. You talk trash from the minute you
Yeah.
walk in there, and if you lose, you own up to the trash talk. You give them their respect, but you trash talk the entire way. I lost all respect for Halliburton for doing that.
Yeah.
Lost all respect for it. Can't do that.
I can't argue with that. That's pretty fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't try to just make fun of people now that you won.
Yeah.
That's what I remember. Jordan said that. Oh, he's like, when somebody was talking trash when he was winning, he's like, "Don't talk trash when you lose winning. You gotta talk trash when you lose it."
Yeah.
That's when I know he's real. Talk trash when you losing, come back and win.
Yeah, you're right. Like I agree with that. And I didn't see that shirt.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. Somebody, one of my friends, sent me a picture of it, and I was like,
Yeah.
I kind of like if he would have worn that shirt going into the game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, he might be one of my favorite non-Knicks players on the planet.
Yeah,
Right?
that is a pretty ballsy move if you wear that
It's a
on the way out.
ballsy
Yeah.
move. But if that's how you feel, that's how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
And then to go in and do it, no, I would have given him all the credit. But to wear it afterwards and knowing that he bought multiple outfits, a win outfit and a lose outfit, because you know he wasn't going to wear the shirt had it been a press conference that he lost.
Now, what if it was a shirt that like the collar allowed him to wear it either forwards or backwards, and and on the back was Reggie Miller going,
uh, maybe.
"Oh well."
Or one of those, those like my kids have like pillows that are
Oh yeah, with the
sequins,
sequins on
and
it.
you
Yep.
do this and he go up to it. He would be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
It's a totally
Yep.
different
It's just
thing.
Rick Smits looking sad.
Yes. Oh, see, now that would have that's fun if he'd have showed that. If
Yeah.
he'd have just did this, I'd have been like, okay, I like
Yeah.
it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Well,
no, my
since we're
team
talking
lost.
basketball, we got to talk about the most important basketball thing that's happened since
Oh,
Michael Jordan won 6 out of 8. The great Bill Walton passed away the other day.
oh, yeah. 71 from cancer.
I had no idea that he was sick, but
No, neither did I. I know he had stopped doing the because remember he's usually you didn't see Bill Walton most of the year, but he always did NCAA Match Madness.
yes.
Like that was him always. Whether you liked him or not, he was there.
Yeah. It's Bill Walton, Dick Vitale, and
Now Charles Barkley's been doing a lot of March Madness
has
too.
he really? Yeah.
Yep, he's one of the March Madness guys too. Kenny Smith too, because I guess I guess they want to get that feel of inside of NBA,
Yeah.
inside whatever. They want to get that feel, but they don't have Ernie and Shaq. But yeah, they'll do college games now too. But yeah. Bill Walton. Didn't we talk about him?
It wasn't too long ago. I think we
It
talked
wasn't
about
too
Bill
long
Walton.
ago.
Yeah. In some context, maybe not here, but somewhere else.
Yeah.
I always liked Bill Walton as an announcer. I didn't. To call him one of the 75 greatest players of all time or the 50 greatest players of all time is a stretch because
It's a stretch.
His career was shortened.
Very short. But I think when we looked at it, he had one of the amazing playoff runs.
Mm-hmm.
Like he averaged ridiculous amount of numbers in those playoffs.
Yeah.
The one playoff championship series he won, he went off. So it does. Yeah, he shouldn't be there, but
He is. Yes.
he would go on so many tangents.
I know that's why I loved him because it was just like listening to word salad all the time, and like the smallest thing would like spark some memory of some acid trip he had at a Grateful Dead concert, and then
Uh-huh.
oh god,
Uh-huh.
loved
Or the great what was the coach? What was his coach?
it. Oh
Chip Wooden, right?
yeah, John Wooden, right?
No, Wooden.
The great John
Wooden.
Wooden, one of the greatest coaches to ever coach a sport since so and so and so and so did so and so. I
couldn't say
remember a
anything bad about
time
him.
when he and just off on a tangent. Okay, went into Montana thinking about whatever, reflecting on a life well lived. It's like okay, great.
Now, I think what's funny is that he is that. He's like that California kind of guy. West Coast. He
For
definitely
some
gives you
reason, I
West
thought you were
Coast
going to
vibe.
say raisin. And
He's that California raisin type of guy. You can see him just singing Temptations and dancing.
play the
Just
saxophone.
heard it to the great. But just,
I really thought you were going to say that. I don't know why. But yes, he is a California guy. He is
and then he got to go in Portland. He played his first part of his career in Portland.
yes,
So
which is like the
yes,
California that isn't
like yeah,
California.
the California.
I was going to say the California, the West Coast, but not
You're
quite.
on fire this way. You're,
Yeah. So I always liked Bill Walton. Giant horse teeth.
oh
Overvalued career, but super announcer. I just enjoyed
yes.
him. Uh, Boy, we didn't talk last week, and I feel like
Nope.
stuff happened. The schedule came out last week.
The schedule came out. Yep.
We had the schedule. We're currently at 100 days away from the start of the NFL season, but I have to share this because I've been holding on to it for so long. It's a video, so like sharing it is doesn't really do it justice. But I wish I could grow a beard like this guy. He comes in,
Wow.
give me the Clone Wars Dooku, and
Whoa.
that's what it is. I've never seen such straight beard
Whoa.
hair. Look at that.
And for whatever reason, the hair on your face just grows at different times. There was probably an out of place hair the next day. Like
Oh
the
yeah, for
next
sure.
day, a new one grew. You're like, how did it grow so fast?
But he's like, man, all the hair on my face is like I'm a calico cat. I got gray patches, I got brown patches, I got red patches. I'm like, no, this makes sense. This guy's got a solid white beard,
Solid white
and it
with
is
the sharpest angles.
sharpest angles. It looks like that Clone Wars animation. It does.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been holding on to that one. I had to show you that. So I thought that was good. What else do we have? Before we get into the schedules,
Mm-hmm.
before we get into schedules, we got to talk about a few things. What do we have? I got to scroll. Okay. Years since their last playoff win. Now, this isn't nearly as bad for our teams as others.
No.
Well, for the Bears, it's kind of bad. Got this list here of years since the last playoff win. Now, last year we had the Ravens, the Bills, and the Lions, who broke probably the longest streak.
Yep.
Packers, Texans, Chiefs, 49ers, and Buccaneers.
Are we talking
all
about playoff win or
Playoff
playoff
wins, not
seeing the
births.
playoffs? Okay.
playoff wins? Now we know the Giants won last year, not this
Yep.
previous year, but the year before.
Last year. Yep.
Where do you think the Bears? How many years ago since the Bears' last playoff win?
It wasn't that long ago. It was a Mitch Trubisky year. It was his rookie year. No, his rookie year, wasn't it?
His rookie
Does
year.
the double
his
doink
rookie
wasn't the
year,
second year?
I think they
Wasn't the
went like
second round
6
of the
and 10.
playoffs? Well, one of those the double doink year wasn't that the second round of the playoffs? First?
Double doink was the first
First round
round
of
of the
playoffs?
playoffs. Yep.
Ooh, we going back to like 2014, 2012?
2009. No, 2011.
Okay, 2011. Wow,
So
that's
13 years. Same year
that's,
the Jets last won. But the one
that's
that
what I would have said the Jets was the longest streak.
what surprises me though, it's the Dolphins. The Dolphins have not won a playoff game in over 2 decades, 23 years. And the Raiders are coming in close at 21.
And I think that win was the gimmick team. Wasn't that
The Rich Gannon team that went to the Super Bowl.
was it
probably.
Rich Gannon? Oh, I thought it was the what's that? Wildcat year
Oh. Oh, with the Dolphins?
with the Dolphins. I thought it was the Wildcat
yeah,
year.
it might have been. I thought you meant the Raiders.
The Raiders was definitely
23 years ago, 2001 Dolphins. Who were on the 2001 Dolphins? I don't even know.
no, it couldn't have been the Wildcat year. 2001 Dolphins was Marino still playing? Bob
He might have
Greasy?
been. Do you know who the coach was? Dave
wasn't no Shula.
Wanstedt. They went 11 and
Ooh.
5. They
That's
no,
a good-
they lost that year, so it must have been 2000 they won. Oh my goodness. Yes, they won in 2000 versus the Colts. Dave Wanstedt was the head coach. Who do we think the quarterback was?
I don't know many of their
Holy
quarterbacks.
cow!
Greasy?
You'll never get this. I can give you 1,000 guesses. Jay Fiedler.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't have got
He
that.
threw 14 touchdowns and 14 interceptions that year.
They didn't win because of him. They didn't.
No. Their top rusher was Lamar Smith.
Oh, this is rough.
Their top.
Who ran the ball?
Oh, go ahead.
Who ran the ball? You said Rusher was
Yeah,
Lamar Smith.
Lamar Smith.
I was thinking wide receiver. I was like, because I've never heard the
Well, wait till you hear who the top receiver was.
Uh-huh.
With 56 catches, Oronde Gadsden.
How
It's
this team win? How many games did they win in the regular season?
11.
11.
11 and 5. They finished first in the division.
The AFC at that point in time would not. The AFC East would have been bad.
It
That would have
had
been
to have been.
That would have been before Brady, but after
Well,
2000, 2001.
2000. So the Dolphins finished 11-5. Colts finished 10-6. Jets were 9-7. Bills were 8-8. Patriots were
stunk.
5-11.
Yeah, I was trying to think who would have been a really good team. The Jets probably would have been the closest to being a decent team, and I forget the Colts was in the AFC East, like we said last time. But yes,
So
the Colts.
so the Colts would have been Peyton Manning, right?
Yep, either his rookie or his second year.
Had to be
He
probably
came
his
in
second year.
'99, I think, was this draft.
So let's see. Colts finished 10-6.
The Jets might have had Vinny
they had-
Testaverde.
Peyton Manning had 4,400 yards passing and 33 touchdowns that year. I don't even know who the Jets had. This is
What's that? This is 2000.
2000. Yeah.
So that means the Giants lost the Super Bowl. That means the Ravens. That's the Ravens. Giants
Yeah,
lose to the Ravens.
that sounds
We got to
right.
bring that up. We find a way to.
I didn't mean to bring it up. I just
I know.
so the Jets quarterback that year was Vinny Testaverde.
Vinny Testaverde.
Yep. 37.
Vinny.
Curtis Martin.
Curtis
rushing.
Martin. They had a good team. They had a good team.
Yeah. Curtis Martin. Wayne Corbett was their top receiver.
Ooh. And Bill Parcells is the coach. Is Bill the coach, or does he go to?
No, Al Groh is the coach.
Okay. Yeah, Bill would have been there probably no, because Bill was with the Patriots in the '90s, right? Because Bill took. I think Bill was in.
I don't know.
Because he brought Kurt. I thought he brought Curtis Martin to the Jets with him when he went.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Yep. So the stinking Dolphins haven't won in 23 years. The Raiders won 21 years ago. Washington won 18 years ago. Those are the three longest. And then we had the Bears and the Jets 13 years ago.
Is that 2001 the snow game? Is that
let's see. 2001
is that their last one
Oakland Raiders
in the playoffs against not against the Patriots?
John Gruden was the head coach. They were 10-6 that year. They finished first in the West. Rich Gannon was their quarterback.
I believe Jerry Rice was the wide receiver, and Tim Brown. Jerry Rice and Tim Brown.
Tim Brown, yep. Jerry Rice, yep.
I think that's the year that they lost to the Patriots, which kind of think starts the dynasty for the Patriots.
Yeah, let's see. I don't care about the touchdown.
It's the going forward. Oh, the motion. I think that's the game. Is that their last time? Because that was the AFC Championship game, so they would have had to win in the second round that year to.
Yeah, let's see. I'm looking for playoffs here. Playoffs. Yep, they lost to the Patriots 11 to. No, it's the record 11-7. I thought the score was 11-7. I was like, holy cow, that's a terrible score.
That was Vinatieri's
They lost
field goal.
13-16 in overtime.
On the field goal by, was it Vinatieri at the time? Vinatieri's rookie year, and that's the forward pass play. I remember in the snow, he fumbled it, but they called it a forward pass, and he wound up kicking a field goal to
Yeah.
And that's the last time the Raiders won the playoffs.
Yes.
That's tough. That's tough.
Vinatieri. It's probably the last time also Tom Brady rushed for a 6-yard touchdown.
That's tough.
They scored 10. The Patriots were shut out in the first half. had 3-3, and scored 10 in the fourth to push it to overtime to win 16-13. Yep, that's the last time. Like the franchise was destroyed after
They've
that.
been back though. They just haven't had any wins.
They haven't won anything. Yeah, but I mean, so same thing with the Dolphins. Like
Yeah.
that's a long time. Jay Fiedler was their quarterback. That's terrible.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's tough. Like I said, my team is we won recently.
Yes, you got that. You got
So
that win. So got that going for you. So it's what keeps you a DJ.
yeah, that's what. Yeah.
All
Pretty
right.
much.
Dak Prescott, when asked what's going on with the contract, what does he say?
Should say, don't ask me. Ask
I don't play
ask
for money. I have never cared for it, to be honest with you.
He makes $56 million a year, maybe more.
How much does a banana cost? $100? He doesn't know. He has no idea.
I've never played for money. It's never the reason why I got in here. I got in this game for the concussions and the CTE.
Yep.
And that's the reason why you play. Let's not lie to anyone. The reason why you risk your future health is for money.
Yep.
That's the reason why you do it. Why are you lying? The reason why I go to work every day.
Yes.
It's not because I love the work. I may like the work that I do.
Yes.
But the reason I go is for the money.
And we've said it before on here. If I had enough money to not work tomorrow, I would not work tomorrow. I would just stop working. I wouldn't do it. I would do what they call a silent quit.
Oh man, that's still tough. Still tough for the Cowboys. I'm still every day that someone doesn't get signed, a CD Lamb, a Dak Prescott. Every day that one of them doesn't get signed, I'm like, what are they doing?
Every day one of them doesn't get signed and somebody else does. Because today the Texans signed Nico Collins.
Nico Collins, I just saw that.
To a 3-year, $72.75 million contract. 24
You got
and a quarter
Nico Collins making $25 million a year.
Yes. I do not know how much of that is guaranteed. That's the real number. How much is guaranteed? So
Okay.
let's see. Guaranteed.
All right.
Don't
I
have any
I may have to find the article, but I saw something today. It's about the NFL draft that just passed.
Yeah.
It's about the Vikings and what their plan was to what they were planning on doing.
Oh, I need to know this because
It was rumored, and this is something that I think I saw it on the Giants site, that the Vikings were planning to ruin the Giants' day. They were going to go to 5, trade to 5, and take Malik Neighbors
why?
and trade Justin Jefferson.
Why? That would be the dumbest thing they could have possibly done.
Let me see if I
Unless
can
trading
find.
JJ got them who? Like who, Tom Brady from 2012? Like I don't understand what they're gonna do.
Let me see if I can find it. But they were like, the thing was like, it could have been the worst thing for the Giants because the Giants would have been stuck like, what do we do now? Would they have gotten Roma Dunze? Would they have gotten Joe Alt? Because they were trying to get that position. So the article was basically saying, hey, what would the Giants have done? But I was like, wait a minute. What?
What would the
They were gonna
Vikings have done? What would
the
the Vikings have
Vikings-
done in that
The
situation?
Vikings. Yeah. Yep. Report. Vikings wanted Neighbors would have traded Jefferson.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
That is what
Like so the Giants, not the Giants, the Vikings and the Bears both had GM openings in the same year. And the Bears took Ryan Poles. One of the guys on my I'm intrigued by list, mostly because like his name was interesting, and like, oh, he's a big analytics guy, was Kwesi Adolfo. I can't remember what his full name is. And then that's who the Vikings general manager is. I got a Vikings general manager. I'm like, oh, I love Kwesi Adolfo Mensah. I love first ballot Hall of Fame names, and I think Kwesi is a great name, right? and so they hired him. I was like, okay, um, he has done nothing but make me so glad the Bears took Ryan Poles. Like he does.
He's made some questionable
Oh
maneuvers.
God, yeah. Um, I love that. I'm fine with that. Boy, I kind of wish they would have done that, but I think it would have messed up the Bears because I think
The Giants might have taken Rome.
yes, and that's why I wanted to talk to you about. Did you watch that video I sent you?
I didn't because it looked like it was very, very pro
Well,
Chicago.
it's from the
I did watch
Bears,
the video.
right?
I did watch the video.
Okay,
Yes.
but I'll watch those videos from any team, and it's like the draft day war room sitting there talking,
Mm-hmm.
and the Bears clearly from this video, their top two choices were Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze.
Mm-hmm.
And they're
And
like,
when it yep.
they're like, what are the Chargers doing? Well, they're either going to take JJ or Alt. I'm like, okay, so or not JJ McCarthy, but the other JC Latham. They took Alt. Like, okay, now it's up to the Giants. I think they take Neighbors. Like, and Ryan Poles was positive they were taking Rome Odunze. And when they didn't, he was like, "Oh!" And then they're doing the math, right? Like, and then, then
Yep.
after that, it got to J.C. Latham, and then when it got to the Falcons, and he goes, "What's my percentage?" And he goes, 77% that Rome is there. So he wanted to trade up, and he didn't. And then the pick came in, and he made this face. The Falcons take Michael Penix Jr. and Poles' jaw drops to the floor. Gum almost, he's chomping that gum hard too, and that gum almost fell out. It was, see, I like those, and they if it didn't go that way, right? They would have totally chopped it up to edit it to make it look like whoever they took at 9 was the guy they
Was
always
their
wanted to
guy.
take. But because it fell like that, they showed like the
They get the
whole
lie, the whole-
process. They showed the whole process, and like even at the end, Ian Cunningham, the assistant general manager, goes, "You got 1 and 2 off the board," and he didn't have to trade up for it because he wanted to trade up for him, and he didn't. Mm-hmm. So, however the picks shake out, like that is right there is like the best like you could hope for.
You can't get any better.
No,
that.
you can't. like when you make your draft
Like-
board, everybody's draft boards are different. Man,
If that means if they would have had pick 1 and pick 2,
they would have taken
they would have taken Caleb and Roma Dunze.
Yep.
That's who they would have taken with pick 1 and 2.
Yep.
And to get that with pick 1 and 9 is kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, everybody's scouting teams are different. Everybody values traits differently and stuff like that. And I think Rome Odunze is a top tier talent, but I think they like him as a person too, which is like a big thing for the Bears. They're all about personality and bringing in
personality
guys
fits.
that kind of jive with the system.
I can see that.
And yeah, so
Like I said, I wanted him for 6'3", 6'4". That's what I wanted. I wanted the height.
Yeah.
But everything I'm hearing out of the OTAs right now with Malik Neighbors is like the boy is kind of good.
you can't be
I
mad.
didn't know
You can't be mad at taking Neighbors because
I didn't know he was 20 years old.
Yeah.
He's only 20. I was like, he can't even drink yet.
Nope.
I like this. I like this.
Yep.
I like this. Just from the standpoint of now, college kids are coming out. They're 21 and older.
mm-hmm.
So I was like, all right,
Yeah.
20, we're good.
Michael Penix Jr. is 25, right? So like you can't be
And
mad.
won't get to play until he's 27 to 28.
Yep. Yeah, you can't be mad because you get taken Neighbors, right? Because really, when you're there and you got 3 prospects like you have there, and who knows if they'll all shake out or if they won't. But when you got 3 that are like that are all like
I think
1A,
they will.
1B, 1C, you can't be too
I
mad.
think this is gonna be a really good wide receiver
I hope so.
draft. Like I just with those 3, because I don't see how they can fail even if they're guys.
Yeah.
Like if Malik Neighbors might see 100 targets this year.
At least.
Because I'm looking like y'all got to throw the ball.
Yeah.
You don't have Saquon Barkley.
Nope.
You've got some running backs that I like, but none of them are Saquon Barkley. No one commands the ball 20 to 30 times. They wasn't giving Saquon the ball 20, 30 times
Nope.
like they should have. But now you have now you don't have a reason to do it.
No.
right? So now it's actually smart in the game plan to open up the offense and throw the ball more and run on downs that you need to run and do that, right?
Might as well, right? Because you're right. They weren't giving Saquon the ball 20 to 30 times a game, so that means
Nope.
they were unless their drives were just so short that they didn't have the opportunities to give him 20 to 30 times a game.
You always got a chance opportunity to give the ball to Saquon
That's
Barkley
true.
20, 30 times.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what happens. I think they were more worried about his legs and being injured because he was somewhat
Yeah.
injured. Like he would get heavy workloads at the beginning of the season,
Yep.
and you would watch that workload just taper down. You're like, he only got 15 touches today, and you're like, come on. And I think that was either due to injuries or they were seeing something that we couldn't see. But we got no choice this year but to throw the ball, throw the rock.
Gotta.
As Darius Slayton ended his holdout. He was back at OTAs
Oh,
today.
was it good for him?
I
Good
don't
for
know.
him.
I don't know if it was good for him. It's like, what are you doing, sir? You're watching the wide receiver room get more packed.
Mm-hmm.
You're watching people take your position. You need to be there to fight for that position. You can't
You need
not
those. You
do
need
that.
those practice snaps. You need them no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Neighbors. I think Neighbors is going to be a real good player for the Giants. At least I hope he is, because I don't want to see him be bad, right? Like he's not. If he was on the Patriots, then maybe, or if he was on like the Packers, then yeah, maybe he'll fail. But nah, no, like he's too good. You feel like he's
Yeah.
too good coming out of college to be bad.
Yeah.
Is he
To
going to be a
bad.
superstar? Maybe, but I can't see him being bad,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. No. I hope not. And level we something else that came out while we were going
Ooh.
were those horrible Giants uniforms.
Oh, I love those Giants uniforms. I'm sorry. They're one of the better
Horrible.
throwbacks. Like, I mean, if you're going to throw back to like the dawn of football, you could do a lot worse than that.
It doesn't like the problem that I have with them is nothing of that uniform screams Giants. 0%
I
of it.
think the most Giants thing is the gold pants, and I like that.
It definitely screams to me 49ers, the gold pants, the red
No.
top. Like, I just like this does not look like anything like the Giants. And that's what I think a throwback should.
Hmm.
It should make you reminisce. There is not a person on this planet that remembers the Giants wearing that
That's
outfit.
true, but there's also not a color
1932.
photograph alive of that uniform, right?
We didn't care. We didn't need it. We didn't need that. I was happy with the 86 throwbacks that they did last
I
year.
don't know. I
With
just
the Giants on the helmet.
yeah.
Love it.
That's
Love
great
it.
too. I have a soft spot, no matter the sport, for like those like dawn of the sport throwback jerseys. Like when baseball does it and they got those wool and the small hats and stuff like that. I think that's cool.
I will tell you, I think baseball jerseys, the older they are, the better they
I
are.
agree with that too.
I think that they are old. I told you I went to the Negro League museum
Yep.
in Kansas City,
Mhm.
and I took a picture of every jersey they had hanging up there. And each one just I was like, that's a good looking jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just look better. They look heavier. They definitely look heavier. They don't but they just look better.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, oh man, but football's not like that.
No.
They don't look good. The further you go back, the worse they
But
get.
I don't hate that. I know you hate it, but I mean, I don't hate it. I think it looks fine. I actually think it's, and if I were a Giants fan, I don't know whose jersey I would get, but I would get a jersey. I guess be Neighbors.
It would be Neighbors.
Yeah, it'd have to be, or
There you
Saquon,
go.
right?
No. No. You got your choice right now. This is why I have not had a Giants jersey of a player. I think I got a Saquon Barkley jersey.
Mm.
But I picked jerseys of players who on their second contract or so,
Yeah.
or who I think so they're gonna be there.
Yes.
Like I don't like getting because you don't know.
No.
Right. So right now we're looking at a Dexter Lawrence jersey I can get,
Mhm.
and okay, I can't get Kayvon Thibodeau's just yet.
Mhm.
Who else is Andrew Thomas? I've never owned an offensive
You're not gonna
lineman's
get an
jersey.
offensive
I've never owned an offensive lineman's jersey. So it's like that's it. We haven't had and I bought Odell Beckham Jr. jersey when he got a second contract,
Mhm.
and they let him go.
And
the
then they
year
traded him,
after that. A year after that, like You're turning my jerseys into throwbacks immediately.
Yes. But I mean, you can
No.
always be like that. You remember that dude who had the Cleveland Browns quarterback jersey that had all the 70
That's a
names on
great
it?
one.
Yeah, that was
That's a
awesome.
great one.
Hmm.
That's a great jersey.
I agree. I agree. All right. This stat came across my timeline and I saved it. Total fumbles lost in the last 3 years
Hmm.
by, and it looks like it's exclusively quarterbacks. Yes, I don't see a running back on here. Total fumbles lost last 3 years.
3 years is tough. I don't know why y'all went back to 3 years. That's when
I didn't make
Daniel
the I
Jones
didn't make the list.
Daniel Jones was really having a fumbling problem about 3 years ago. And I
I'm
don't
gonna tell you
appreciate.
what, he's in a respectable position on here.
Okay.
Who do you think the bottom of the list is with six?
6
Three guys are on here, 6 fumbles,
in the
and
last 3 years,
yes, in the last
or
three
six.
years.
Baker Mayfield.
No,
Yeah, okay, no Baker. Kirk Cousins.
no. Well, you have to think of. Oh, there's 1, 2, 3, 9. 9. One is a running back. I didn't see that. One was a rookie last year. Two
He
are
had 6 in 1 year.
two running backs, one rookie last year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6 quarterbacks that are not regular starters. I'll just bring up the list. We have Mac Jones, Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's a regular starter, but he didn't play a whole season. Mac Jones, Joe Burrow, Joe Flacco, Carson Wentz, Gardner Minshew, Ryan Tannehill, Melvin Gordon, Antonio Gibson, Bryce Young was 6 last year.
Daniel Jones was 7.
Now we got the group of 7s. Tua,
He played.
Sam Darnold, DJ, Taylor Heineke, Pat Mahomes, Tom Brady, Jacoby Brissett. Tom Brady didn't even play last season. Daniel Jones really didn't play last season.
Uh-huh.
Sam Darnold didn't play last season. Tua did. And then we got the 8s. We got Derek Carr, Geno Smith, Russell Wilson, Baker Mayfield, Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook's a running back. Didn't play last year.
Uh-huh.
Baker Mayfield, Russ. All right. We got the 9s. Desmond Ritter, Zach Wilson. Didn't play last year. Kirk Cousins, Dak
I
Prescott.
thought Carter was up there.
Matt Ryan was retired last year. Jalen Hurts. Right. Desmond Ritter didn't start 3 years ago, so that's 2 seasons worth of fumbles lost. Josh Dobbs, not a regular starter. Then we have Austin Eckler, so I guess he's a running back. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then we have Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields. 11.
Those are guys who run the ball a lot.
Get
so
hit a lot. Lamar
you-
Jackson didn't play half a season. Josh Allen,
Yeah.
another runner guy, he had 12.
Yep.
13, nobody. 14, Jared Goff. Now we get this.
Wait a minute. Why there's so many blanks? That
This
means
is what nobody had 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, or 20 fumbles. Trevor Lawrence had 21 fumbles over the last 3 seasons.
3 seasons of
And he missed, 3 games last year?
yes.
21 fumbles lost over 3 seasons.
He's only got 3 seasons in his career.
Correct.
That's rough.
So, like, even Justin Fields, who was a fumbly guy, only lost 11. Trevor
In
Lawrence
3 years, yeah.
lost 10 more than that.
That's
10 more.
You can't win like that.
No, you can't. When you turn over the ball that much, remember when we talked about good quarterbacks, negative plays, turn over the ball, you can't do it.
And he's the type of person that, like, he's not one of those slide quarterbacks,
Mm-mm.
right? Like, he looks like he puts his head down and tries to get more yardage.
He's a
What
tall
was that,
horseman that just has hooves, I guess, for hands.
21?
He can't hold on to it.
Man. Yeah, now it goes back to people who listen to this. They might think that we always poo poo on Trevor.
I like
Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence, but
I don't. I
I
poo
know
poo
you
on.
don't. That's tough though. 21 fumbles over. You can't defend 21 fumbles over 3 years.
No, we've put that stat up. We've compared him to
Minshew.
what is his Gardner Minshew. Is this guy warrant getting paid $60
He's
million
going to
a
get
year?
paid. They're going to pay him because if they don't, somebody else will,
60
right?
mil a
So
year. Or they don't. Or he's one of those quarterbacks that don't get another contract. That's becoming more and more of a thing.
I mean, they picked up his 5th year, so they still have 2 years to ride this out. They don't have to give him a deal. They can ride it out for the next 2 years and see what happens.
The Jameis Winston thing. Didn't they do? Didn't they, the Buccaneers do that with Jameis
Yep.
Winston and wind up not picking him up?
No, did not pick him up after he threw for 5,000 yards. I mean, that's the same thing. Lamar Jackson, they didn't give him a deal. They let him ride out.
Yep.
I mean, it's not in the quarterback's best interest because you want to start that money clock again as soon as possible, right? You
Mm-hmm.
want that big guaranteed money payday and then start to be like, okay, now I'm 4 years away from another extension.
But I think nowadays in this era, if you don't think he's your guy, or if he's quite positive, like I don't think he's gonna want to take a Daniel Jones deal.
No,
He believes he's better than that. So,
sure.
the, and he might be. I don't think he is that much better, but he might feel that way. He's had to run this team pretty much by himself for the last 3 years, so he feels like the face of a franchise, and he's gonna feel like he should be getting paid over 50. His production doesn't say I should get paid 55
No.
million dollars a year. Um, and the question is, are the Jags gonna want to do that, or are they gonna sit there and say, let's just roll the dice with a quarterback? And we may not know now, but let's say they don't make the playoffs next year. They're now looking for a quarterback.
Yep.
They
Well,
You'd have to think that they are. If they don't make the playoffs next year and he does not have a good year, you don't think that they would have to draft a quarterback, his replacement? You think they would re-sign him? They didn't make the playoffs again. He didn't have a great year. You think that they would roll it, even though they got him for the fifth year? You don't think they would try to get his replacement immediately?
I don't know. I don't know why you like. I don't think he's bad. It's not like he's terrible. Like, well, we need to replace this man right away. Can he win with Trevor Lawrence? I think he can.
Okay, let's say he throws for 3,500,
Hmm.
11 touchdowns and 7 fumbles, which is kind of what he's averaged his 3 years.
Rookie year with not Doug Peterson, with what's his face, Urban Meyer, right?
Ooh,
Thirty six
that's a bad
hundred,
day.
12 touchdowns, 17 ints. That was his rookie
Uh-huh.
year, right? Then he goes for 4,100, 25 and 8,
Okay.
and 4,000.
With seven fumbles, probably.
Yeah. And 4,000, 21 and 14.
Okay. So let's say he does 4,000, 21, 14
Yeah.
again.
Uh huh. Okay.
Also 7 fumbles. So 21 touchdowns, 21 turnovers,
Sure.
4,000 yards. They don't make the playoffs. Is that something that you grow? You say, okay, good enough.
I don't think it's pull the ripcord. I don't think you bail on it.
You don't have to bail on him just to get his replacement. To
But you
to
don't.
to
I
to,
don't
to
think you need to
draft
replace him. Like, why would you need to replace him? He's still a good, viable quarterback, and he was young. He's only
because
20. He's
that
only 24 years old.
because that good viable quarterback's going to cost you 55,
I mean,
56
yeah.
million
I
dollars,
mean, that's
and you have to make a decision. Is this the guy that you're going to go with long term?
that's how
That's
it
what I'm saying.
works. I don't know. It's
You
hard.
and that fifth year he can be better, but I do think you have to draft
Hmm.
that guy. I don't like, and this talking from a guy who was in that position with Daniel Jones.
Hmm.
We did not draft a quarterback on his fourth year. And then the fifth year, he goes out there and has a great year, and we're forced to pay him because we don't have a replacement on that. We
Well,
don't have another option.
it wasn't even that good because they declined the 5th year option on him, right?
They,
So,
they did.
which
They
was a
did.
smart, in hindsight, the wrong move, but at the time it was a smart move because
Yeah.
there was no. You look at that and you're like, oh, well, we're just gonna move on from DJ next year, and then they win. Like, I think Trevor Lawrence is not a guy you're gonna abandon. You're not gonna bail on him. Like, you're gonna have to pay him. I mean, it's just how quarterbacks work. You got to pay him.
I don't know. I just don't know. The people they bailed on Baker Mayfield,
Yeah,
and he was solid.
he
Bailed
won a playoff game.
bailed on him.
Yeah,
Like I said, and we saw as we saw a progression in Jameis Winston. I didn't think that the Buccaneers was going to give up on Jameis.
and they did. Yeah,
They definitely gave up on him. I didn't see that happening.
yeah,
But like I said, I think nowadays we're starting to see more of that happening than before. And like you said, we've also saw Kirk Cousins go to have to be franchised not once but twice
yeah,
because they kept kicking that can down the road. We watched now of course they made it right by signing them, but we watched Lamar take it all the way down to the wire.
yeah.
But once again, these teams didn't have backups. They didn't have there was no way they were not going to have that guy be the guy because they
Mhm.
didn't have another option.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. Like you go into next year, you don't make the playoffs again, and you're drafting in the top 10, and possibly you can move up to get a quarterback you want. I don't see why you don't do it now. Now, granted, if he sits on the bench, that's a good place to have him. But
Yeah.
you trade it. But I think next year is they need to look for him.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. You're just down on Trevor Lawrence. I don't.
I've always been down on Trevor Lawrence though.
If he has a really bad year, that's tough. But I mean, they got him for 2 more years. You don't bail on him unless you have to. I don't think, and I don't think you can. And we talked about this before. There'll be a quarterback available, right? Like if they can't keep Trevor Lawrence, so let's say they go through the 5 years, and he's mediocre for the last two. Yeah, you're not going to give him that $70 billion contract or whatever. But I mean,
Mhm.
you could franchise him, and let's see what happens for another year, right?
Do you know
Like,
what the franchise tag's gonna cost then?
yeah, I know, but I mean,
You got guys making 50 million a
it's
year
only
and
a
this
1 year commitment, though, right? I don't know.
for 50 mil.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because you got to get paid the average salary in the top three, and that top three is gonna look like uh
Yeah,
Hurts. Who's the next one? Not Burrow. I think it was Herbert probably,
yeah.
and Dak's gonna be in that list.
Let's see, quarterback franchise. Usually they are able to. Oh, phew. So the transition for next year would be 35. So that's just next year. They don't have to worry about it next year, or 42 for the franchise. So it'll go up after that. So you're probably looking at like a transition tag of like 38 and a
Yeah,
franchise
the
tag
tri-
of 45, maybe.
mm, I thought it was the top three of.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like so, but like so it's I don't know. Like bonuses don't get so the franchise tag stays lower because I think something about bonus money doesn't get calculated into it properly. So it's like I don't know how it works.
Okay, so
Um,
it's like
yeah, something like
base
that.
salary, which
And but that's where everybody's getting in trouble because they have these humongous bonuses that are they push down the line and then their salary cap hill. Yeah, whatever. Not my fault. Trevor Lawrence though 21 fumbles, so you can pay him if you want to, Harland. All right, so
you said what?
you can pay him if you want to. Um,
I don't know.
so
He's trash.
here's a stat that is not as friendly for us Bears and
Oh,
Giants fans. The last
mhm.
time the team has won their division.
2011,
Yes, it's 2011 for the Giants, 2018 for the
2011.
Bears. Who is the furthest away? And are they in this millennium?
From winning the division,
Yes.
we're further away.
But, well, no,
I-
who is the furthest away?
Oh, you mean from that has the team that has not won their division in the longest time?
Yes. I'll tell you this the Giants are bottom six. They're sixth at
Okay.
2011.
There was one. The Washington might have snuck one in there with the
2020.
losing.
Washington
Yeah,
got.
they snuck one in. They had a bad year that
I
year
think they were
too.
like
But
7 and 9 or whatever. And
it was not a good year for them.
no,
But yes, I think they snuck that one in. Um, wouldn't have been the same. Oakland.
Oakland is 2002.
That's this is a team further than 2002.
Yes.
I just Oakland 2002. We were going okay. All right. Miami Dolphins have definitely won in that
Miami
time.
Dolphins 2008.
Um, we know Carolina and Jacksonville, the expansion teams, they've won since
Carolina won their
then.
division in 2015, and Jacksonville won their division in 2022.
All
Texans
right,
won it
this
last year, 2023. Even the
the
Lions
San,
won
Di-
it last year in 2023.
the San Diego Chargers would have won it with LaDainian Thompson and Philip Rivers. So they
2009.
yep, so they would like I said, and I know the Jets was going to AFC championships, but were they winning the division?
2002. So
Okay.
there's one more team. You got the bottoms. You got five of the bottom six. The Giants in 2011, the Chargers 2009, the Dolphins 2008, and 2002 the Chiefs, not the Chiefs, the Raiders and the Jets.
The Atlanta Falcons, Dirty Bird Atlanta Falcons?
2016, they went to the Super Bowl
Okay.
that year. Remember? Or was
Yeah,
it
but I didn't know if they
2016? Yeah, I
wanted.
don't remember.
It was the bad. Okay, yeah. When what's name was MVP, you right.
Yeah,
All right, NFC or AFC team?
AFC.
AFC team. Wow. Okay. Browns 1-1. Cincinnati.
The Browns are the team.
The Browns are the
They
team?
have not won their
A
division
division?
since 1989.
1989?
19 I was in 8th grade. I am going to be 49 years old this year. I was in 8th grade in 1989. That's when the Browns with Bertie Kosar.
89?
Yes. 1989.
Wow. That's tough.
And now remember the Browns didn't exist for like 3 or 4 years in there too. So
Mm.
yeah, give them some grace. But what's funny
Oh,
about that is so the team that was formerly the Browns has
the
won
Baltimore Ravens.
more Super Bowls than the Browns ever
No,
have.
the Browns were the Colts, right? Who were the Browns? Like,
The Ravens. The Ravens were the
right,
Browns. Remember the Browns moved in the middle of the night.
it's so crazy. I thought they were. No, Baltimore had the
Baltimore moved in the
Colts.
middle of the night to
Yes.
Indianapolis, and
Yes.
then the Browns moved in the middle of the night to Baltimore.
But doesn't Baltimore get all the stats of the Colts? I thought that was
No.
part of the rules from leaving it. The
No,
Baltimore gets to
the
keep.
the Browns get to keep all of the stats. So the Ravens were like essentially an expansion team.
Oh, okay.
They had no like records or history.
So they didn't get to keep any of the Browns. Good, because they didn't need any of
That's
that.
probably why they did it. Like we need to cut ties with this instead of bringing this
Okay.
franchise glory, which they went to the Super Bowl like 2 years later, right? Like didn't they win in 2000? Yeah, with Ray
They
Lewis.
did. They did.
So yeah,
And have won since then. 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Since.
yeah, the one with Joe Flacco. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the Browns in
80.
1989. 1989. Imagine
And
being a fan of that.
And honestly, I'm not predicting them to win it no time soon. Deshaun Watson is the quarterback.
They're in the same division as the Baltimore Ravens. No. They're not
The
gonna-
Baltimore Ravens, all teams have gotten better in that division.
Mhm.
Except Cincinnati, but hopefully with a healthy Joe Burrow makes them
Makes them better. Yeah.
better.
Yep.
89.
Yes.
And you know what? I don't care too much about division titles, right? That's not something that I care too much about. But because you can get to the playoffs without it. And if you get to the playoffs,
Yeah,
anything can
but
happen.
if you win your division, if you're competitive in your division, you win your division, you go to the playoffs every year.
You go to the playoffs and you could possibly have a bye.
Yes.
Well, you used to be able to have at least a first, but Jesus Christ.
It's like even like it's so insane to think about. But man, like even the Cardinals, the Falcons, Washington, right? These are teams that are traditionally not very good. The
Mhm.
Jets, the Raiders, the Bears, they've all won.
But all of those teams, you can go back and find a period in the last 20 to 30 years that they would have had a good run of players in a team. You're right. The Browns, this is the closest run to talent they've had in the last 10 years. We're going to say with the Myles Garrett, from Myles Garrett getting drafted, this is probably the best run of talent they've had in my lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
So, but every other one of those teams, there's a time and an era I could say, okay, I remember when they were good. Like that's what I was doing when I was like, oh, okay, the Chargers. They had LaDainian Thompson, Phillip Rivers. They won. They like, yeah, I should have went to the Browns because you're right. But I assume that when they went to the playoffs recently, with that they might have won a division. That's why I excluded them.
All right, so it was so long ago. What was the number one movie in 1989?
Lethal Weapon 2.
No, it was Batman. Batman
Oh,
'89,
yeah.
right? But there's been how many
Mm.
Batman movies since then? One, two, three,
Oh, you guys,
four,
that's
five,
way too.
six, seven, eight.
I
Bat.
bet you're wrong. I bet it's more.
So I'm thinking of movies that just say Batman in the title, right? So you
Okay.
have Batman Returns,
Yep.
Batman Forever,
Yep.
Batman and Robin,
Yep.
then nothing again till Batman Begins,
Begins.
Dark Knight,
Yep.
Dark Knight Rises,
Yep.
Batman versus Superman,
Yep.
and The Batman.
Batman.
So there's eight. But then he also had Justice League and
Yeah.
Suicide
No,
Squad.
but
Those
I
don't
think you're
count.
right. Those solo Batman movies is where. Yeah, you're right. And then and Batman vs. Not Superman is not a solo one, but yeah. Yep. Okay.
What was the Billboard year-end Hot 100 single of 1989? You'll never guess this.
Madonna. No. No.
I don't even know what the
It's my-
song is off the top of my head. Like, I don't know if I could sing it.
uh, then I'm not gonna. If I'm not gonna guess that.
It's by the band Chicago. It's called Look
Mm.
Away. Don't know it. I know some other Chicago songs, kinda. The number two song of 1989 was My Prerogative by Bobby Brown, which we can all agree was a good
Should
song.
have been number one.
Yes.
Should have been number one.
And then even Every Rose Has Its Thorn was number 3 by Poison. Could have been number 1. Straight Up by Paula Abdul could have been number 1. Miss You Much by Janet Jackson, that could have been number 1 too.
It could have been.
Right?
For us to know 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and not know the number
I
one.
could go on this list. Wind Beneath My Wings by Bette Midler. Everyone knows that song. Girl, You Know It's True by Milli Vanilli.
Ooh.
Baby, I Love Your Way
Uh-huh.
by Will to Power. Don't Giving You the Best That I Got by Anita Baker.
Mm.
Right Here Waiting by Richard Marx. Now we're getting into the weeds. Waiting for a Star to Fall by Boy Meets Girl. Lost in Your Eyes by Debbie Gibson. Don't Want to Lose You by Gloria Estefan. I mean, these are there's two damn Girl, I'm Gonna Miss You by Milli Vanilli again. Right?
Uh-huh. They
That
probably
was
won best album that year.
Man, if the Browns division championship were to make you a mixtape to woo you, it would have some
Girl, you know it's true.
Girl. Oh. I love you. Yep.
And My Prerogative, oh, it's a dance track.
Yep. She drives me crazy, but I mean, these are old ass songs.
Drives me crazy.
So now
Oh,
let's
man.
say I had $1 of 1989 money. What is the inflation for that $1 of 1989 money in today? How much is that? How much is a dollar from 89 worth today?
I remember what I was buying. With $1, I could eat the whole day. That I could fill up on enough junk food. Oh, so we're gonna say it's at least $4.50 now.
Oh God, I wish that were true. It's not. I'm gonna go to a different source, see if I can find a better one here. Yeah, it's $2.46.
Okay.
2.5 times though, right? So it's 150% higher than it was. What else happened? What else is fun to look at from 1989? I don't know. The movie and the music thing made me laugh. The Browns.
I bet Microsoft was a small company worth not much.
Oh boy, yeah, you're right. How much was Microsoft stock in 1989? Searching. Oh, come on. Oh, do you want to know?
The $2.50.
We'll just say December 1st, 1989, Microsoft stock opened the day at 61 cents.
61 cents.
61 cents.
You could have taken that dollar that you had, let's just say $2, and bought 2 shares, right? And that 2 shares have probably split a dozen times in that
How
time.
much would one share of Microsoft from 1989 be worth today? Do we want to know this answer? I have a hard time trusting this. Uh, boy, man. Uh, investment calculator. Oh God, I got to do a lot of work to do this here. 1989. We're just gonna do March 13th. One singular share on March 13th, 1989 would be worth. Oh my God! Do you want to know?
The stock right now is over $400.
Do you want to know what one share of Microsoft would be worth from 1989? Current
Yes, I
value
do.
would be $61,966.07.
On that 61 cents that you put down.
Yes.
Ooh.
The return is 116,202.7%.
Yep. That's about right.
Oh my
Sounds about
lord.
right. You had $1.89.
Yeah.
You had a dollar. Mhm.
I don't know. But
Yeah.
maybe I'm going to tell you what, that number couldn't have been right because it feels. So here's something to talk about. Google's like infusion of their AI
Cool.
into their search has been awful. Like, have you seen people like uh there's been people that have been sharing them because they're so insane because it uses Reddit for a good portion of its information.
Mm.
And so it's like people are asking like, how do I keep the cheese from sliding off my pizza? They're like, here's a suggestion that one person, adding non-toxic glue, right?
That seems like good work.
Can I use gasoline to cook pasta? Right? No, you should not use gasoline to cook pasta. But to make a spicier sauce, add a few tablespoons of gasoline, right? That's what it said. I am not joking. This is what Google was spitting out. So it's hard to tell. Microsoft stock. I'm going to do a little more. Microsoft stock, 1989. There's got to, because it's telling me here. It opened at 61 cents. This is what AI review says.
I'm on the company market cap. If you'd bought one Microsoft stock in September 21st, 1987, it'd be equal to 288 shares today because of how many times the stock has split.
Yeah.
And that you would take that 288 and then multiply that by its current price, which is $401. And then that's when you'd get
you're right.
your 61. Yeah, because it's split first in 87, but if we're talking about since 90, we'd have missed out on two shares, so we'd have 286.
All right, so here's from StatMuse. The closing price for Microsoft in 1989 was 37 cents on December 29th, 1989.
I'd have bought three. I'd have bought three shares.
Here's the thing: it was up 62.6% on the year.
Man,
if you can go back. There's lots of things like, boy, if I go back in time, I would have done this or done that. I think if I would have gone back in time, I would have just bought $100 worth of Microsoft.
I probably would have bought $100 worth of Bitcoin in 2010.
Yeah, but you'd see, now here's the thing about Bitcoin, though. You have to unload it, and you have to find people that are willing to purchase it. And
it's now at like 50,000 a coin.
I understand that, right?
You'll find somebody.
It's tough.
And if I'd have sold at its peak, there was a guy. Do you remember that pizza guy?
Mm-hmm.
He put on Twitter, listen, guys, I just want a pizza. I've got 100 shares of Bitcoin. I'm giving anyone want to bring me a pizza for 100 shares. Every 100 shares is that's like a billionaire if he kept it.
Yeah. I remember when Bitcoin was a thing. Like I have no interest in investing in Bitcoin at all right now, any cryptocurrency. But I remember when Bitcoin started becoming a thing, and it was mostly for making online transactions for cam girls and for drugs, right? That's the only reason. And the value of it was whatever somebody be willing to say, yeah, this is a value for it, right? So, you could have bought. I think about this sometimes too. Boy, I don't want to say this out loud, but I'm going to. Like, if you go back and you get the living expense check from Full Sail, and
just dumped it into something. Yeah,
dumped it into something that could have made money. Boy, that would have been smart.
And lived in your car for the.
Yep. I mean, I probably spent on dumb shit anyway. I might as well wish I would have spent on something that wasn't.
A lot of comic books was purchased.
Yes, that's
a lot of comic.
That is for sure. Man, 37 cents in 1989 though. 100 bucks. So it's I got 100 divided by 0.37.
I got all the money that I saved up for birthdays. I believe the Super Nintendo came out in 1991.
Mm-hmm.
I saved all my money to buy this SNES when it came out.
Yep.
That was $199. Because my mom told me she'd never buy me another video game system again
Yep.
after she bought me my Sega Master System.
Yep.
So I had to say, had I put that 199 in Microsoft, we wouldn't even be having this conversation right now because I would have never went to Full Sail, sir.
Yes.
I would have been filthy rich.
So let's say you bought about $100 worth of Microsoft at the end of the year in 1989. About 270 shares. Right now, it'd be worth 16 million.
Oh,
And you could have spent some here and there, paid for some stuff, and like you might still be sitting with millions of dollars just on that. $100 investment in 1989. If only we had known then.
Yep.
I was in eighth grade. If only I was a smarter eighth grader. Well, goddamn you Browns! They're the reason I'm here.
You gotta go back to the legacy. Like, come on, what was I thinking?
All right, here's another one. Losing seasons in a row.
Oh,
Losing seasons in a row. So there's been
Browns.
1, 2, 3,
Browns.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 teams had a losing record last year to extend their record, and Browns were not one of them. Browns made the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
So the new additions for last year were the Vikings, the Chargers, the Giants, and the Washingtons.
Yep.
2 seasons, you get the Raiders, the Cardinals, the Titans, and the Patriots. 3 seasons.
Oh, we're talking about in a row. We're not talking
in a
about the
row.
most. Oh, okay.
Not like of all time, but just in a row.
Okay.
3 seasons was the Bears, right? Now the next jump we have is 6 seasons, 7 seasons, and 8 seasons, and we have 4 teams. 2 fill in the 6. 1 is 7, 1 is 8, and maybe it'll break this year. But the Jets have had 8 seasons
I knew he was going to say
row.
that's the team
8
I was
seasons
going
in
to
a row,
say.
and the Broncos have had 7.
Broncos.
The Broncos have had 7, and they've spent so much money on a quarterback, and then it's not even on their team. 7 seasons. Panthers 6, and that's not going to change this year. Of all the teams that are on here, the most likely to break those streaks, I'm going to say the Bears.
Yeah. Bears are probably likely to beat that. Yeah, the you can count on the Broncos to be there. The Jets might break it. If they can stay healthy, the Jets might break it. Like if I was putting money on it, I'd say the Bears are probably your guess. But no, I'm not gonna say them. I'm gonna say the Jets because I don't know. On paper, Caleb is supposed to be good.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know. So if I'm putting my money, I'm putting it on something that I do know. And Aaron Rodgers is better than
you can put money on Aaron Rodgers being healthy.
That's difficult, but
yes,
I'd still say them, even though they didn't learn. They have no plan B if he gets injured. No, they do. They have Tyrod Taylor, who also stays injured.
Yes,
all the time. So
I have another collection here for you.
Okay,
400-yard passing games since 2020.
Oh.
Who do you think's number 1 on that one?
Who's had the most 400-yard passing
since
games?
2020. So 3 seasons.
Your boy Charles Herbert.
No, you'll be very surprised at this.
Very surprised?
Well, at Herbert maybe.
Jared Goff.
No.
Okay.
It's your boy Patty Mahomes. He's had 7.
Yeah, I don't know
7 400-yard passing games in the last 3 seasons. Okay. Nobody's had 6. 2 teams have had 5. 2 teams have had 5.
Chargers?
No,
I'm still going.
No, one's from your home state. There, you got the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott throws a lot of 4. Their one might surprise you. The Buccaneers.
Tom Brady?
They've had
Or
5 in 3 seasons. So Brady was 2 of those years, and Baker Mayfield. So
the
I don't know how it splits up. Then after that, you have 4 with Joe Burrow. Nobody threw 3. Only 2 teams have thrown 2 400-yard passing games since 2020.
what? What happened to the passing?
I don't know.
I remember it'd be like, oh man, Tom did it. Drew Brees did it. Peyton Manning. What happened to all these passes? This is supposed to be the era of passing the ball. What
And it's
happened?
just the last 3 years, right? So 400-yard passing games. You
Yeah.
have 2 for Josh Allen and 2 for Tua. And Tua was that 170-yard game, 70-point game, right? Where I think he threw
Yeah.
500 yards in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 teams with 1 400-yard passing game. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 teams with 0.
I don't think in the last 3 years, I cannot remember Daniel Jones throwing a 400-yard game.
Well, somebody has on the Giants because they have 1.
Yes.
The Jets, the
I know the
Giants.
Bears. I know. I know the
Yeah, the
Bears.
Bears haven't had any.
Yeah.
But surprising, your boy Trevor Lawrence didn't throw any. Jalen Hurts hasn't thrown any. Old Purdy
The
hasn't.
Chargers only has one.
Chargers only have 1. Justin Herbert's only thrown 1 400 passing yard game.
Wow.
And as we sit here and say this, it feels dubious, but I think Justin Herbert 400-yard passing games. Nope, he's had 1. 405
His
yards
whole-
in this last year. The next highest is 398, 383, 382. Yep. And I got to see if Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
He had 1.
He's got one game.
Yep. October 3rd, 2021. He threw for.
Take that, Saints.
Where's the yardage on here? I don't see the yardage. Oh,
He threw for
402
402.
yards. 402 yards on 70% completion.
Wait, huh? How does it say he had 2.5? Oh, he had one. Oh, two. Okay, that's the percentage.
Yeah,
Two
intercept.
TDs and one interception.
Yep.
I was like, it says he had 2.5 interceptions. I was like, you can't have 2.5.
400-yard passing games for Mahomes. He's had a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's just his 2020. And then he had 3 before 2020. So he's had 10 400-yard passing games since 2018.
10.
Yep.
Just can't stand him.
Yeah, he's so good. Unfortunately, he's very, very good.
And he can only play for one team. But they should just have him like, street ball rules, universal quarterback.
Oh, yeah. Every down. Yep.
Yeah, just have him quarterback for both teams, and let's see who's the better team when the quarterback is not in play.
Sounds
They
good
should
to
do
me.
that. They should do that. They should do that for. I guess other quarterbacks won't be happy. I was gonna say for a Pro Bowl, just have universal quarterback.
Yeah. All right. So one more thing before we go over the schedules and we pick our winners.
17-0, baby.
And you brought it up earlier, but I'm going to. You hinted at it earlier, and I wanted to tell it then, but I'm going to save it for now.
Mm-hmm.
Starting tomorrow, Negro League statistics will be integrated into Major League Baseball database.
I saw that.
Josh Gibson will now be the Major League Baseball's all-time career leader in batting average at 372, slugging percentage at 718, and on-base percentage at 1.1 OPS, so 1.177. Man, he averaged. That's insane, right? But there it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool. I saw
Very
that
cool.
today.
Finally. All right.
And Angel Hernandez is retiring.
Yes.
on the same
Finally.
day.
Finally. All right. I got to pull this up, and I got to. Oh, boy. Let's see. What's the name of that? I should have.
Boop, boop, boop.
Game predictions. There it is. Google spreadsheet. we had the too early predictions. We're not going to do too early predictions. We should go down our schedules
Yes.
and let me make a new sheet. Um,
I always got to say New York
one
Giants schedule.
predictions. So we have the New York Giants and then the Bears. Let's see, and we're into. Let's see. New York Giants. How do I want to make this spreadsheet? I should have made it earlier and make it sideways. Let's see. Insert one row above. Week. 1, 2.
I'm gonna tell you what. When I first saw our schedule, the teams we had to play, I was like, man, we got a tough schedule. Looking at it now, I don't feel that bad.
All right. I should have made this earlier, and I feel like a bum. 14, 15, oops. 15,
Mm, mm,
16. Oh, there's like so many weeks now. 17. They're,
17. Yep.
they're gonna
18 weeks.
18
Yeah,
weeks.
yeah.
They're gonna make it. They're gonna try to push the damn schedule to 18 games.
Yeah,
Preseason.
they're trying to get rid of the preseason games because nobody cares about them, but nobody wants more games.
No.
Like the Giants owner Mara keeps telling them, "No, guys, we're good. We're good." He keeps trying to stop him, but I think he's on the competition committee.
All right. Let me do this.
Do, do, do,
So we
do,
can
do,
come
do,
back
do, do.
and.
Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna be happy for the first couple of weeks of the season.
Oh,
So.
sure you are. I'm sure you will.
Oh, I'm looking at the schedule, sir. I don't. What are we talking about? I think I can. I think I can call Super Bowl now.
It's blue. All right.
Of course, we don't play the Bears this year. We usually, occasionally, we've been getting to play y'all, but this not this year.
Not this year. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So we have in week 1 for
Which team we doing first?
let's do the Giants first because I have them
All
up
right.
first. We have the Vikings in week 1.
Yes. JJ McCarthy's trash.
Oh.
Minnesota Vikings lose.
Yeah.
At home, we take game 1. We start the season 1-0.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Giants in that one too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Week 2 at Commanders.
We always beat the Commanders. It's 2-0. You might as well just put Marcus down for 2 wins. I don't care where it's
Yeah,
at.
I got to agree with
FedEx
you.
Field.
This is killing me. I'm agreeing as well. Week 3. Here's where it gets a little tricky. At Browns.
This is where it gets tricky. It's at Cleveland. It's
Yes.
at Cleveland. That's the tough part. But I'm still giving us the win.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to go with the Browns on that one.
They'll give us the win.
For no reason other than it just I don't think the Giants start 3-0.
I know. I don't either. But it's gonna be tough.
All right, hold on. I got so many tabs open here. I got to close them all out now. I don't know why I do this to where I'm making it so I'm fighting myself. All right. Then we have at home the Cowboys.
Yeah. Once again, you won't get me on this show saying that the Cowboys, even though I always,
All right.
if I'm being sane, I always like to say they split. I always say the Giants are going to beat the Washington Commanders 2 times. We're probably going to split with the Cowboys and probably going to split with the Eagles. But because this one is at MetLife Stadium, I'm giving this one to the Giants.
All right. Week 5, I'm taking the Cowboys. Week 5, we're going. The Giants are going to Seattle.
This is tough. We got to go from New York all the way to Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know this. I know the team, but there's no Pete Carroll.
Now, here's the thing: the Giants are coming off Thursday night with the Cowboys. Then they have that what they call the mini bye.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Now, guess what? We're 5-0.
You have the Giants at 5-0. All right.
I got the Giants.
I took the Giants on that one too, because of that mini bye. Then we have the Bengals coming in.
This is a rough stretch. This is a rough stretch.
Yeah.
We've got the Bengals, but there is a home stretch. You
Hmm.
got the Bengals, you got Philly, and you got Pittsburgh. Dealing with the Bengals now. This is Sunday, October 13th. It's a primetime game on Peacock. Jesus Christ. A primetime game. Is Burrow going to be there? It's early in the season. He may not be there. I'm going to go Giants.
Sunday night football. I'm going the Bengals.
It's at home. If this game was
I
played away,
understand.
it'd be easier for me to say it.
Then we have the following Sunday. The Eagles come to New York.
Oh, Saquon Barkley's coming to New York. He's playing East Rutherford. We're winning this one. This is a win.
All right. You have the Giants being 7-0 after 7 weeks. I'm taking the Eagles in that one.
Of course you are.
And then they
I'll
go
get
Monday night to Pittsburgh.
Steelers. Steelers.
Okay, the
I'll give
streak
the
is
Steelers.
broken.
It's yes.
This is where I think Justin Fields has won his third consecutive game as a starter for the Steelers. All right, so then we go week 9. We're
Mm-hmm.
back at home against the Commanders.
It's a win. Told you two. Give us 2 in a row. It's a win.
Yeah, I think on that one too. I think that's the Giants as well. And then they go on the road to Carolina.
We go to Munich, Germany.
Oh, well, yes.
This is
Go to
we
Munich.
beat Carolina.
Oh, I forgot about this. Right? So the schedule makers said, "Boy, Germany, we hate you. We're giving you the Panthers and the Giants."
8:15 in the, not 8:15. 9:30 in the morning Eastern time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Giants beating the Carolina.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna go just about anybody beating the Carolina.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna go with the Giants as well. I don't think the Panthers are gonna surprise anybody this year. Then we get the bye.
We get a bye.
Nice.
Come back, get healthy. We get to beat on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's a win too. Just give us the win.
Tampa Bay at home. You're taking the Giants there. I'm gonna take Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have at Cowboys.
This is the one I'm giving on Thanksgiving.
Oh boy, Thanksgiving is going to be a fun week of football. Fun Thursday of football.
I'm giving that one to the Cowboys.
Oh, you are okay.
I told you I always split the Giants, the
Very
Cowboys,
surprised.
and yeah.
Very surprised. All right.
Don't be this next one. You can be surprised. New Orleans Saints, the Giants.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the Giants on that one too. I don't like the Saints at all. I think that team is trash. And then we have the Ravens coming to town.
That's an L.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
This is our first home loss. That I think.
I'm gonna tell you what, you are very loving of your Giants, which is good. Which is good. You should be. Then you go to Atlanta for the Falcons.
They ain't got nothing. Atlanta loses. Wait, they got Kirk Cousins.
They do have
we beat him all the time. Kirk, we got them. Oh, that's gonna be a tough one. That's a game in my head. I think we should win.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Because I don't know what that Falcons team looks like. It's
early.
Different. New head coach, new. It's a way. I can give them the Giants an L here.
Oh, you're gonna give them an L, huh?
Give them an L in Atlanta. I'm gonna give them the L.
I'm going with Falcons as well. Not because I think the Falcons are particularly good, but it's at home. Then we have the Colts in New York.
They taking an L. Come here. It's gonna be all cold on the 28th. Those soft players play in the dome in Indianapolis.
So this is the Giants for you?
It's a Giants win. It's a Giants win.
I agree. And then they go to Philadelphia to finish up the season.
That's a loss.
That's tough. All right. So right now, I didn't do any formulas, but you have the Giants at. It's probably easier to count the losses here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have the Giants at 12-5.
That seems very realistic. I don't know. After a 6-win season, to double a win total.
I have them at 7-9, or 7.
I don't like that.
7-10.
I don't like that.
7.
How many How many losses did you give us? You
10.
gave us a loss. Oh, definitely. But you gave us probably two losses to the Cowboys and two losses to the Eagles.
Yes.
That's four right
Yes.
there.
Browns, Steelers, Tampa Bay, Ravens,
You give
Falcons.
Seattle.
Now I gave you Seattle. No, Browns in Cleveland. The Browns, right?
Uh-huh.
Cowboys.
Uh,
That's a tough one, no
uh-huh.
matter where you play it. Bengals coming into town. I gave you the Bengals. Eagles coming into town. I gave you Eagles. At Steelers. That's the Justin Fields is when he's starting off.
Wait, so you gave the Giants one, two. Did you Seattle lost, Bengals
No, I gave
lost,
Seattle
Philly?
win. Giants win in
So it's
Seattle.
okay. So we go
You go.
loss, loss, win, loss, 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 win, win in your eyes.
Here's what I have. Starting off the week one, win, win, loss, loss. Two
Yes.
and two after four, win. Three
Okay.
and two after five, loss,
Uh-huh.
loss, loss. 3 and 5 after 8,
Uh-huh.
win, win. 5 and 5 after 10.
5 after
That's
10.
respectable. Bye.
It's respectable.
Loss after the bye, loss at the Cowboys.
Oh, oh,
So
that hurts.
5 and 7, win.
The Tampa Bay lost at home.
Yep, win with the Saints. 6 and 7, lost to the Ravens, lost to the Falcons. 6 and 9, win with the Colts. 7 and 9, lost to the Eagles. 7 and 10.
That is a one game improvement from the year before.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know. I don't know what else to say.
I'm just going to tell. Does this help? The Giants beat the Eagles once last year,
They did.
and they should have beat them twice.
Oh,
But
sure.
I'm just saying, just in case you want to know, with Tommy DeVito and Tyrod Taylor. So if you want to just start,
I think you might have a better chance with Tommy DeVito and Tyrod Taylor. I'm not a DJ believer.
I know you're not. If you're not a believer, you're a hater.
Yeah, I'm not with you. I'm against you for sure.
You're against me. Now, the Bears.
What,
I'm not gonna be spiteful. I'm not gonna be spiteful.
yeah,
I'm gonna be
don't be.
objective
I
with
mean,
this. I'm just gonna.
I don't think the Bears are 17 game winners this year. But
We
let's.
start off kind of tough, but
Oh,
okay.
I think the first half of the Bears schedule is easy.
You think the first half is it? Okay.
Oh, wait till you get to week 10. So we have Titans in Chicago.
I'm giving this one to the Titans.
Wow. You
This is why. This is why I didn't think
what
this
is it about the Titans you think will win? Is it Will Levis?
You. They played better towards the end of the season
Is it
last
Derrick
year.
Henry? Oh wait, no, it's not Derrick Henry.
No, Derrick Henry's not
I know
there.
that was
Did they get a wide
Tony.
receiver?
They got Tony Pollard in free agency. They got Ridley in free agency.
So they have Ridley and they have
They have a new head coach.
Hopkins. They have
Yeah,
Hopkins,
Hopkins,
Ridley, and don't they have another wide receiver?
Yeah, the one that Traylon Burks, the one they drafted when they traded AJ Green, or AJ Brown.
They have some wide receivers. They have a decent the Will Levis thing is the tough part. That's the tough part. So you know what? I'll take that back. That's now because there's that Soldier Field. I know what they have though. But I'm gonna give y'all a win.
All
Give
right.
y'all the win.
Next is at Texans.
Loss.
Yeah, I agree on that. Not because I think the Bears will be bad. I just think the Texans are good. At Indianapolis.
Win.
Yeah, I agree. Rams at home. Rams in Chicago.
Loss. Oh, no Aaron Donald. Nope, lost. If they have a healthy Puka, a healthy Cup, it's an L.
I'm going the Bears. I think the Bears
Okay.
the Bears secondary and their defense is their strength.
You're gonna have to outscore them. Well, every team has to outscore them, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Let's see. What do we got? Oh wait, that's the Giants. Yeah. So, also that Houston game is Sunday Night Football. So it's Sunday Night Football. Stroud versus Caleb. Whatever. Right. Rams.
Yep.
Then we have the Panthers are coming to Chicago, where it is.
They'll be upset, but they're gonna leave crying because that's an L.
For the Bears.
No, for the Panthers. Sorry, that's a win for y'all. Sorry.
Then the Jaguars And the
in
Bears
England.
go to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London, England.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Hmm.
I'm giving this one to the Jags.
And that's totally fair because that's kind of
Only because that's like a home game for them. They play there all the time. There's probably either week one of their 2 weeks back to back or the week two.
the only reason I'm
So
giving it to the Bears is because it's the first half of the Jaguars back to back
it's not this
London
day.
games. If it was
Okay.
and then they have a
The
bye.
second half.
Yep.
Yep.
They have a bye, so nobody wins or loses there. Then
Oh man. This part right here is a win against the Commanders.
we get at Commanders. Yeah,
Oh,
that's gotta be a Bears win, right?
yeah, Cardinals got to be a Bears win as
It's
well.
at Arizona, right?
Oh yeah, perfect weather. Yeah, who wants to play in that?
Arizona. I'm taking. Oops.
Arizona last year surprised a lot. They were well coached team last year. They did surprise a lot. I could see y'all slipping there, but right now I'm gonna give y'all the nod. I'm gonna say that the Bears win that one.
All right. Then we have the Patriots come to town.
That's the Patriots losing. That y'all win. Bears win.
All right. So we're at week 10.
This is
We've had
rough.
our bye, right? You
This-
currently have the Bears at 1, 2, 3, 5 and 1, 2, 3,
Three, should we
5,
do?
5 and 3, right?
Okay.
With losses. Wait, I'm sorry, 6 and 3.
God, this
losses,
schedule's rough.
with losses at the Texans, losses to the Rams, and the Jaguars in London. I have the Bears at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 and 1.
It sounds like my schedule.
Sounds like your schedule, right? 7 wins matches with what they had last year. Oh wait, I'm sorry. 8 and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because
So what you said I had them at 5-3.
five.
Oh, yeah.
So you have them at 1 loss, 2 losses, 3 losses. You have them at 6 and 3 because they've had the bye. I have them at 8 and 1.
8-1. Okay.
Now comes the treacherous 10 run. Now there's the 10 from week 10 on. Now there's a stretch in here where the Bears play 3 games in 10 days. Right? So we start in week 11 in Chicago versus the Packers.
I'm not giving y'all not one win against the Packers, so that's a win
That's
for the
fine.
Packers.
You can do that. You're entitled to it.
But
That is where I think the Bears get their first win against the
Get their
Packers,
first against the
in
Packers.
like a decade.
it
And it's close to a decade, which is shameful. Then we have the J.J. McCarthy's coming to town.
Like I said, if I gave the Giants a win against them, y'all got the win.
Yeah.
Giving y'all both wins probably against Minnesota, so I'm gonna give you the win there.
So I have the Bears win that too. So I have the Bears beating the Packers and the Vikings, right? I have the Bears currently after 12 games, or after 11 games, 10 and 1, which does not seem
Sounds crazy.
Does not seem logical or reasonable. I may have to go back and revisit some of them because it just doesn't seem right. Because then we go at Detroit, which is Thanksgiving.
That's an L. That's an L for me. Think y'all take an L.
Yeah. I just can't see it happening. So the Bears win on Thanksgiving. Then they go to San Francisco.
They take another one. They take another one on the chin. So that's another L.
Yeah, normally I would agree with you,
Oh, okay.
and I'm going to as well this time.
I was like, oh.
As much as I like my Bears. Then they go to Minnesota.
I give y'all the win against Minnesota as well. I just don't know.
I think J.J.
what,
McCarthy is trash, and he's going to
I
be
think
trash.
he is.
There's no way.
But they have, if he can be a halfway decent quarterback, they got enough weapons.
I don't
on
think
offense.
he can. That's the thing. I don't think he can be a halfway decent quarterback. I think J.J. McCarthy is the doom of that franchise, and I love it so much. Then we have the Lions coming to Chicago.
Oh, that's tough. That's tough. I really, really.
The
give
Bears
it to Detroit.
the Bears beat the hell out of the Lions last year and only lost because they lost 2 minutes of football out of 2 out of 120, and that's why they lost that first game.
I'll give this one to the Bears. The Lions the Lions could be one of the better
I know.
teams, and that's why it's difficult for me to give y'all one without seeing. Because to me, they're one of the top. I'm not giving it to y'all. Now you're taking it out because
You're
they
taking
go.
Lions.
They're
That's fine.
I'm taking the Lions.
Then they go to Seattle.
I'm giving y'all Seattle.
All right. And then we go for the last game of the season
Mm-mm.
to the Packers.
In Green Bay. Your hope is that Green Bay's not playing for anything, but they will be.
All right. So
Both y'all, both games are
here's
going
the
to matter. So
situation. I'm giving it to the Packers as well. And I'm going to tell you why. Because up until this point, I have the Bears at 15-2 going into week 17, in which they'll be resting their starters because they have the bye.
15-2.
Currently, I have the Bears at 15-3, which does not seem like a reasonable number, but is what I have. Okay, you currently have the Bears at.
Are you still there?
9-8. I was count.
Okay. I was like, oh, yeah, you weren't moving.
I
was like,
had to
wait.
count the losses. So you had the Bears at 9-8. I have them at 15-3.
9-8, you can still be a wild card team.
Yes, I agree. Are the Bears going to go 15-3 this year? No. Do I think that they will at the way too early win prediction time? Yeah, I do. I think they're going to go 15-3. And I'm not even going to apologize. I was like, maybe I'll go back and change some of those. Nope. 15-3. And to me, that seems low.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It feels low.
Yeah, I guess I'm looking to see if there's anywhere that I could give them a win that I would have given them a loss, and it's probably Los Angeles at Soldier Field.
Yep.
That could be a win, which will give y'all 10.
Yep.
I'm not moving off my Jacksonville Jaguars in England pick.
That's
I
fine.
think that maybe y'all still the one of the Green Bay Packers wins, but until I see you
Yes.
winning Green Bay,
I understand that 100%. I don't blame you one bit. And if I were on the outside of the Bears fandom looking in, I'd agree with you. But I'm not.
And the Detroit Lions being a divisional, if I gave just like I said, with the Giants, and I think we own the Commanders and split with other people, I should give you the same dignity for your division. Because division games, no matter how talented the teams are, they're going to be tough.
Yeah. Well, listen.
If you could sweep the Vikings and go 1-1 with the Vikings, with the Lions and the Packers. I can definitely see that happen.
I mean, you can do it however you want. Like, I don't see the Giants beating the Cowboys or the Eagles, right? Ever.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, I just can't tell myself that the
I
Giants have
understand.
Remember when we did the math and when's the last time that the y'all beat the
Yes, I remember.
Green Bay Packers?
Yes, I know.
And that same time, the Giants is only beating the Cowboys once.
I know.
And that's so it's just 1A, 1B.
Yeah.
So I get it. But
I know. Like, I know. And
in my heart, we got to be able to beat them.
yeah, I know. It only makes sense. Like, you get 2 chances every year. You think one of them, even if you went on accident, right? Like,
we haven't even been close. We haven't even been close against the Cowboys.
do you remember when the Bears
We're
traded?
talking 40 points losses.
Do you remember when the Bears traded for Khalil Mack on like Thursday, and then they opened the season versus the Packers, and he played, and I want to say Aaron Rodgers got hurt in that game early on, and Deshaun Kaiser came in and played quarterback for the Packers, and the Bears looked like they were going to run over the Packers. And then guess who came back? I'm sure he snorted something, shot some things into his ass, came out, and then the Packers won that game. Right? Like there's Even when they should win by accident, they
Wasn't
don't.
he was talking stupid foolishness after that game too,
Yes.
didn't he? I think that's the
He
game
always
that
talks
happened,
stupid
right?
foolishness, particularly about the Bears. I hate that man. I hate that man so much. Um, yeah, just absolutely hate him. Yeah, yeah. I think the Bears beat the Lions both games, beat the Vikings both games. It only makes sense. Split with the Packers because they won't be played for anything week 18. Uh, that's fine. I like that. That works for me. There are games that where yeah maybe the Bears should lose, but I won't give it to them. Like the Rams maybe, like the Jags maybe. Nah,
Who? All right. Who do you think is the worst team in NFL this year?
Panthers.
We're just gonna have the worst in the Patriots.
Yes, I think the Panthers. If they win 4 games, they will be exceeding expectations in my eyes. That team is bad. That team has not done anything to make themselves that much better. And I feel so bad for Bryce Young
But
because
what if it's just one extra year that he needs? I understand that his number one wide receiver was 84 years old.
his number one
That
wide receiver
means
is still 84 years old.
I know that's what I'm saying. I understand that he got old country accent, old Mr. South
Oh,
Carolina.
Xavier Leggett.
Leggett, yeah.
God bless that guy. I hope he does well. I hope he does
So
well. Let's see.
they got a wide receiver. Um, that may be it. That may be all they have. They don't longer even have defensive players. That we got Burns from them.
Yeah. Yeah, they got rid of their best defensive player. They did do a few things on the line to improve themselves, right?
Which will help Bryce.
Yep.
They were in a few games, like were they? I don't remember if they
No.
were in free.
They were really
I
bad
don't think
last year, like really, really
they were
bad.
bad.
Do we want to look at season win totals as of right now, projected from our friends in Las Vegas?
Sure.
All right.
They probably have us the Giants where you have them a 7,
I think it's actually lower than that.
and they're done.
Let's see. I'll just share my screen so we can all revel in it. At the top of the
I
list
don't think they have the Bears at 15.
of course, we have Kansas City at 11.5 wins. That's
Mm,
FanDuel, MGM, like everybody, right?
yeah.
49ers at 11.5 wins.
Mhm.
Ravens at 11.5 wins.
Okay.
Rivers has them at 10.5.
I may hit the Bengals at 10 under because that's tough.
Bengals at 10.5 wins. Lions at 10.5 wins.
Okay.
Eagles at 10.5 wins.
I don't know about that, but okay.
Bills at 10.5 wins.
That's a lot of 10 and a half.
Cowboys at 10.5 wins. This is the one that I think, I don't know. Maybe they win 10.5 games. This
Ooh.
this is one. There's no way you could get me to bet the over on it. Jets over 9.5.
10 wins. They won like 6 last year, maybe 7. They were drafting like 10th.
Yep.
So that was without Aaron Rodgers. They have a decent team.
But let's assume Aaron Rodgers plays the whole year, and Aaron Rodgers comes back healthy and still spry.
Over 10 wins.
Packers
I-
9.5 wins.
Okay.
Texans 9.5 wins. Falcons 9.5 wins.
All right. All right. Now you're getting out of control.
I agree. Dolphins 9.5 wins. Then we got the Bears 8.5 wins. Chargers 8.5 wins.
How there's not that many wins for the Dolphins to have over 9.5.
I know that's
Like,
just
if
the
the
betting line, right? So
I know, but I'm just saying, like, if you think that the Bills of 9, well, it's a betting line, but 11.5 is where you're cutting it. That means you think they're gonna win 10 to 11 games. That's why you gave them the hook of the 11.5, because you're like 11 seems very doable. And then you've got the Jets in that same division, and then you also have that's not enough wins for all those teams.
So betting lines are based upon what makes the casino the most money, right?
Yes.
And there's actual numbers put into it. But if they know that Bills fans will bet the over at 10.5,
Yeah,
like maybe the Bills will win 11 games this year. I don't know. I just don't. It seems weird that they got rid of so many pieces, including Stephon Diggs, and I don't think they really replaced
correct.
him. But I could be wrong. Like the Falcons are like a trendy higher win total.
With the
But
with the
I
quarterback,
don't
yeah.
I don't know if they're good, right? Like having Kirk
That's the
Cousins
thing.
makes them better, but I don't know if it makes them good.
But we're hoping that Kirk Cousins turns these players that we always thought were possibly good into we actually being
I'll
good.
tell you who I will not believe is good is Kyle Pitts. That man's got to go out and catch like 2,000 yards this year to make up for the previous four.
But make up for anyone drafted him in
Yes.
fantasy. Is that
And as I say that, guess who will be on my fantasy team this year? Kyle Pitts, because it'll be the only tight end that makes sense that's left in that spot. Um,
well,
and then the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are more than 10 wins. I think the Dolphins are a 10-win team. They have
they
been.
could be.
That
They start off strong and finish
they
weak.
didn't get worse. I don't think. The
No.
the Bears are an improved team. They won 7 last year. Once again, I think 8.5 is kind of that sweet spot where they get enough people to pound the over, and then they'll still make money on the under.
Hmm.
The Chargers 8.5. I don't see how the Chargers win. That's Jim Harbaugh hype. I don't know how the Chargers win 9 games this year.
Not without a wide receiver.
No, the Rams only at 8.5. I think is an opportunity for an over win there. I think the Rams are still a good
Uh,
team, even without Aaron Donald. I still think they're a pretty good team. The
I think their division is catching up. I think their division's always been tough,
hmm
but I think Kyler Murray and the Cardinals there for a full year makes it not an automatic win in Arizona for the
yeah,
Rams.
I think the Cardinals have gotten better. I think the Seahawks have just gotten
We
worse.
don't we without Pete Carroll,
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
sure.
tough. Browns at 8.5 wins, Jags at 8.5 wins, Colts at 8.5 wins. Like these were all like 9 and 10 win teams last year.
Hmm.
Steelers at 8.5 wins. Like you got to take the over, right? Because they're not going to have a losing record.
You would hope they got one of the toughest schedules in the league.
But there
I don't know what they
is
did to
Russell
why.
Wilson the quarterback that comes in and breaks the Tomlin streak, or the combination of Russell
No,
Wilson and Justin Fields. Is that what?
the NFL did it. You got to take a look at their schedule.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
rough.
They play in a rough division, and they yeah, it all just fits in there. The Buccaneers, 7.5 wins. I feel like
They could do better
they
than
do
that,
better than that. Seahawks a 7.
especially with a division with the Panthers.
Yeah,
But they got Atlanta at what 9.5. So
yeah.
they obviously think Atlanta's the better team in that division.
The Panthers are going to lose 10 plus games this year.
They
They're going
will.
to lose 10 to 12 games this year.
Hmm.
And they got to play all these division. So you know what's funny is like the strength of schedules came out, right? Like so, uh, everybody's like, oh, the NFC South has the easiest strength of schedule versus a previous opponent. Yeah, because you play the Panthers twice. Every team that plays the Panthers this year has one of the weakest strength of schedules this season because they have to play the Panthers.
Mm.
Seahawks 7.5, Saints 7.5,
All right, we're
Vikings
still go. We're way down. They haven't got to the Giants yet. I feel targeted.
Vikings 7.5. The Vikings are at 7.5 with JJ McCarthy. I think the Vikings are primed to win 5 games.
Five
And
games.
oh god, it's gonna be glorious. I'm going to enjoy watching the Vikings win 5 games. Cardinals at 6.5. I think the Cardinals win more than 6 games this year. Raiders 6.5. Commanders
Oh,
6.5.
you kiss. Oh, they can kiss my ass.
The
How dare
Titans at 6.5. The Giants at 6.5. The Giants are at 6.5, but they have a higher payout, $100. Right, they're plus 122. Commanders at minus 115 for the over. So Las Vegas is almost expecting the Commanders to win more because of Jaden Daniels to win more than 6.5 games. Than they
They
are
will
the
not.
Giants to win more than 6.5 games.
They will not. We will crush them. We will crush them.
Mm. Broncos 5.5. Panthers 5.5. Patriots four and a
I
half.
see. That's what I'm saying. That's why I was wondering. Do you think the Patriots are worse than the Broncos than the
No, I
Panthers?
don't. I do not think the Patriots are worse than the Panthers. Just don't see it. I don't see it. The
Who's the
Patriots,
Patriots quarterback?
Drake May,
They just got Drake May.
right?
Okay.
Got Drake May, new coaching staff. Yeah, I mean, are they going to be good? No, but they're going to be better than the Panthers.
The Panthers have a second year. This is his second year. You're hoping that you see an improvement from him.
Yeah, oh, I'm sure you. I'm sure you do hope you see that, and you probably will. But the rest of the team. I mean,
Hasn't got.
Bryce Young isn't going to win you those games with that squad. It's just not. He can't. I just don't see how it's possible.
You also, but like I said, there's a reason the NFC. You said the AFC, NFC South is the Panthers are the reason. No, there's not a lot of great in the NFC South.
No,
I think the Panthers, if you put them up on their home field against any team in the NFC South, they may not be favored, but they're not bad. They're not big underdogs. They could beat any one of those other teams in Carolina, Atlanta, New
but they didn't.
Orleans,
They don't.
Tampa
They only
Bay.
won 2 games last year. One happened to be against the playoff Texans on a field goal. They won like 9-6 or whatever, right? Like,
True. The other game was against the Bronx. They beat the Buccaneers, didn't they?
it was probably
Doesn't
it
matter.
was probably it doesn't matter. They only won 2, right?
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
They only won 2, and they're at 5.5 over under. I mean, so if you go over, that means you're expecting them to win 3 times the games they won last year, and they were really bad,
They weren't very good.
and they didn't do a whole lot to get better. They're still really
They didn't
bad.
have much. They didn't have much to do.
No,
They didn't have
they
much.
didn't have that number 1 pick. They didn't have the things that bad teams use to get better. They didn't have the cap space. They traded their number
Nope.
1 defender.
Yep.
They don't
That's
they
why.
don't have much.
That's why we're gonna win more than 7 games. Our defense alone is gonna get us at least 3.
Yeah, you better hope so.
The offense is gonna get the other 7. So
That's like the Patriots. The Patriots had a strong defense last year. Strong defense.
yeah,
Christian Gonzalez
but
was hurt for the most of the season. He'll be back.
they also had a defensive coach who all he did cared about was defense.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all he cared about.
Well,
I don't think he cared if the team won or lost as long as the defense played well.
OJ Mayo was a defensive player, right? I mean, I know it's not OJ Mayo, but
Yeah, I need to see. I need to see what he can do before. I just don't trust the Patriots at
oh
all.
yeah,
to be
I don't
good.
think they're good, but I think they're better than the Panthers.
And they're tougher division. You can't see them beating anyone in that division one game.
I can't see the Panthers beating anybody in their Division 1 game.
Really? Not even the Saints? I don't think the Saints are that good of a team.
I don't think so either, but I think the Panthers are abysmal. The Panthers are so bad.
That's true. They're not very good.
No, they're so bad. I am surprised to see the Patriots at only 4.5 and the Panthers at 5.5, and the Broncos.
I think
at
it's the
5.5.
division. I think it's the division.
Gotta be.
Because if you're telling me that they're going to lose 2 to the Jets, 2 to the Bills, and 2 to that's 6 losses already.
Yeah.
And they got other teams they got to play that are clearly better than them.
Yeah.
It'd be hard pressed for me to find wins. They'd have who they would match up favorably against.
Yeah. I don't know.
Unless they are playing the Panthers those other 4 or 5 games.
They need to. Boy, nothing would make a team right more than playing the Panthers 5 times.
That's why I'm glad the Giants got them on the schedule this year. Even if it is in Germany.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you gotta like rejoice. Like, yes, last place schedule, right? Like, give me them Panthers.
Yep. Sometimes you gotta hope you get lucky.
Yeah. Yeah.
And once again, the NFC East hasn't had a repeating champion in years. So
Yeah, that's true.
it's on outside. It's on outside. We could do it. Not repeat, but win. Because the Cowboys can't win.
All right, let's look at this Panther schedule. At Saints,
That's probably an L.
home versus the Chargers.
That's an L.
At Raiders.
Whoa. No, what's name is better than that team.
Herbert
probably could will it.
Herbert will count
But
for 2 to 3 touchdowns, and
He's coming across the country.
I don't care. I don't think the
You
Panthers
don't
can
you don't think
score.
that matters?
I don't think the Panthers can get in the end zone. At Raiders,
Yeah, they do have defense. They do still have defensive players. At Raiders, they lose that.
home versus the Bengals.
They lose that one.
At Bears,
They lose that one.
home versus the Falcons.
They lose that
I
one.
mean, we're already starting. We're already looking at 6 straight losses to start the season. Like I don't see a win in there. Now here's where they first might get the but what if Jaden Daniels is good at Commanders?
That could be at
At
Commanders just
Commanders,
makes it difficult.
yes.
At that's if they was at home, they'd probably be favored. So I'm gonna say
Here's
Washington.
where they might sneak out a win.
Don't you say that? Don't you say
No, no,
Germany?
at Denver. At Denver.
Ooh, ooh, at Denver.
You think Bo Nix is going to be good? No.
No,
Do you think Zach Wilson's going to be good? No. Like that Denver team is bad
that
too.
could be a win. That could
That
be a
could be a
win.
win. And that feels like a coin toss. Then you have the Saints at home
Uh, the Saints at
in Carolina.
in Carolina. The Saints are a better team. I just don't like them.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
understand.
why.
Sure.
I don't know why they don't. They look like they underperform. So yeah, the Saints are a better team. So I'm gonna say
And then you
Saints.
got Munich, Germany versus the Giants.
Giants are a better team.
Giants should win that game. Then you get the
Mhm.
bye, and then coming out of the bye, they get Kansas City in Carolina.
They could be nice to them and give them a good team.
Nope, they get Kansas City in Carolina. That's a loss.
That's a loss.
Then you get the Buccaneers in Carolina.
I got to give them a win. I got to give them one win.
Yeah,
I can't see them going
maybe.
into. I can't see them.
Then they go to Philadelphia.
That's a loss.
Then they host the Cowboys.
That's another loss.
Then they host the Cardinals.
They maybe
That's maybe a
lost.
coin toss.
That's a coin. Yeah.
Then they go to Tampa Bay,
That's I'm gonna give them an L.
and then they finish the season in Atlanta.
in Atlanta. God, that's an L.
So what?
That's
There's maybe
maybe
3
two.
wins in there, maybe 4, and that's with coin tosses in there. This Panthers team is not good, and they do not have a favorable stretch. Again, the NFC East and the AFC West.
They they could have been nice and not giving them the Chiefs after the
I know.
bye.
Isn't that hilarious?
That you go to Germany,
Yeah.
you come back, you get a bye, you get a chance to settle in, and you go against the defending champs
Yes, that's very difficult.
in Arrowhead.
Yes, that's tough.
It's
No, it's not in
fair.
Arrowhead. It's in Carolina.
Oh, it's
It doesn't matter.
Carolina.
It could be at the bottom of the ocean in a submersible that's been crushed, right? And they still lose. Both teams can be vaporized, and they'd be like, "Well, that's a Chiefs win."
Yeah, I see more dirt on the field for the
Yeah.
Chiefs. They win.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, this Panthers team, I don't know who they beat. I don't know who they beat. And let's do the Patriots, right?
Yeah,
At Bengals,
that's
that's a loss.
That's a loss.
Hosting Seattle,
It's probably a loss. Seattle's got better players.
like a
but I
coin
just don't
toss.
want to- it could feel, yeah.
it depends on Drake May, or it depends on what kind
Yeah.
of scheme they figure out how to run. Because Seahawks have a new coach too, right?
But they still got the same players.
Yeah, but like
Still Geno Smith, still
And-
Njigba, still
you got Geno
Lockett,
Smith, who was unlocked by the old regime,
Coach.
right? You don't know what's going to happen
If you-
there. Then we go
True.
at Jets, probably a
That's
loss.
a loss.
At 49ers,
Definitely a loss.
Yeah.
Definitely a loss.
hosting the Dolphins in October, so it's still warm.
Mm. Yeah.
Probably lose there.
Uh-huh.
Hosting the Texans.
That's a loss.
They go to London to face the Jags in the Jags' second week of their 2-week stint. Jags will win that one.
Jags are a better team. They and they've already been there a week. They're accustomed.
Yep. Now, unlike every other team we've seen that's traveled, the Patriots don't get a bye week after the travel. They come home and they host the Jets.
Man, they don't like them either. That's an L.
Yep. Then they go to Tennessee.
That's it. That's an L.
They go to Chicago,
That's an L.
host the Rams.
SNL,
to Miami,
another one.
host the Colts.
Mm,
Now we're December 1st right now in New England versus a dome team
Dome team. Then we
that
got.
might not, that may
I
or
can
may
get.
not have their quarterback. Anthony Richardson might get hurt in week 4 again, right?
Yeah,
Now we get the insanely late bye week of December 8th.
that's a horrible bye week.
Yes, it is.
Oh my,
They go
that's
they
a
go all the
horrible
way
bye
till
week.
December 8th for a bye week. Then we get at Arizona.
Okay, after a bye week, I could maybe, but no,
Probably
probably
not.
leaning towards Arizona.
At Buffalo.
Definitely no.
Now here's a favorable December 29th game. Hosting the Chargers.
In Foxborough,
Yes.
that's a good
That should
one.
be a New England win. You'd think it would be.
Should be,
Yeah.
but they. If we're still going by who is a better
It's
team,
the Chargers. Right.
it's the Chargers.
And then you have the Bills at home to finish the season.
That's how many? That's a L. How many possibles do we have? Two
Two,
again, maybe
yeah.
three.
Couple coin tosses. The Seahawks, maybe.
That Arizona after the bye week.
Arizona after the bye week, maybe. Hosting the Jets, no. Going to Tennessee, maybe.
That game after the Germany game, that's just brutal. That's unfair to do that
Yeah.
to them.
Yeah. It is. You got to fly all the way back and then host the Jets. That's very tough. And not because the Jets are amazing, but because you had to fly back from London.
But the thing about that, isn't it? It's just a 6 hour flight from Boston to England, so it's equivalent to going across to. For them, that's probably why they did it.
Maybe.
For
Yeah.
them, it's only a six. It's the equivalent of going to San Francisco. You wouldn't give them a bye for going to San Francisco.
No, yeah, but it's also like 5 time zones, too, I think.
Yeah, it's a few. Yeah,
It's tough.
yeah, it
Like,
feels
you're
different.
going to have jet lag. You're going to need a day to recover, maybe 2.
Yeah,
After you had to fly there. So you have the Sunday at 1 o'clock game hosting the Texans. Then you have to fly to London. Well, you have a day off.
it's an early game. It's technically an early
N-
game, so you get
9:30
to.
Eastern, yeah.
So you, as soon as you get off the plane, as soon as you get off the game, you're going on the plane, you're coming back,
You can't,
and you
right? Because they have to have their mandatory off day on Tuesday. They can't travel till Wednesday.
wait. What do you mean?
Yeah, there's mandatory off day on Tuesdays, right? So,
But I'm talking about after the game.
yeah,
So after the game, they get to travel
that's
back
why.
that
Well,
night.
okay.
So
Well, I'm talking about like getting there, right? They
getting there,
can't
yeah,
leave to get there till Wednesday at the earliest,
yeah,
all right? And then you lose 5 hours going there,
yeah.
right? It's tough.
But I'm just talking about from the standpoint of not having that buy that you would do. You'd have to rush everything. So after you're probably sleep deprived
Hmm.
because you want to get to England as early as you can just to get accustomed to the
The time
time
change, yeah.
to be able to play that
Yep.
game at that time.
Yep.
So you want to get there early, and then you got to leave immediately on the plane and head back so that you can sleep in your bed that
Yeah.
night, just so that you can try to get back on your normal schedule. That's gonna be tough.
That is tough. So maybe the Patriots only win in a couple games, 3, 4 games seems reasonable.
I think they are still the worst team in the NFL this year, and it's really because of the rookie quarterback. And the Panthers quarterback does have one extra year. Maybe he doesn't make some of the mistakes that he made last year.
Yeah, they just have a bad team.
That's They have a bad team, but they had a bad team last year, and he showed flashes of where he could have been pretty
He
decent.
had one of the worst rookie seasons by a quarterback ever, if not the worst rookie season by a quarterback ever. Very difficult season for Bryce. Very bad team. Very bad personnel. I think if you went player for player, maybe the Patriots have a better roster. I don't know. It's hard to tell. They're both not good.
They're not good. They're not good.
No.
Like I said, if I was putting my money on them, still think that the Patriots will be the worst team in the NFL this year. And then they'll be going into the draft not looking for a quarterback, which would be kind of exciting.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Kind of exciting. Because listen, if the Giants don't play too well, we will be looking for a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to keep an eye on all these teams that got quarterbacks in there.
I'm gonna tell you
And they
what.
say
Though,
that's
if you got a team that's bad, and they're not looking for a quarterback, That means you either have to jump them or get their spot. You hate giving up
So
capital to get your quarterback, and you don't like drafting quarterbacks.
no, we have. If listen, I was not on the quarterback train this year.
Mm-hmm.
One, because it just didn't make fiscal sense. Like you have to play him.
Yep.
You're going to have to play him.
Yep.
It doesn't make sense. And there were too much talent, top tier talent, wide receiver that I was like, no, there's no way we can waste this on the fifth quarterback taken off the board. Right? You know what I mean? There's no way we could do that. But next year, I'm all in. If Daniel Jones ain't it, I'm all in. I'm all in, even if Daniel Jones has a good year, because he may not be the future. And after next year, like, even if he has a Pro Bowl year, then maybe we can kick the can. But we have to be in the playoffs. But if we're drafting anywhere in the top 6, 7, it's got to be a quarterback.
You would
Hands
think.
down. No matter how great of a year he has, he could throw for 4,500 yards. If we're in that top 6 because we didn't win, quarterback
Oh,
has to
that's
get drafted.
harsh. If he throws for 4,500 yards, you would think that you will have won.
You would think that we would have won. But the question is, if he drops for 4,500 and we don't win, you can still draft his replacement or someone you think is going to be his replacement and sit him.
Yeah.
Because if he's truly that year good and you still have him for 2 more years, you can sit that guy and let him alone. There's no at that point in time, there's no hurry to get him on the field. But if you're drafting that high, you get the guy. You go get a guy.
Kind of have to.
So,
Kind of have to. I understand. I agree. I agree.
mm-hmm. But we won't, because we're going to be 11-6 or 12 and
You have
5.
them 12 and
So
5, right?
I think I have him at 12 and 5. So,
The thing is,
and that seems very
if
reasonable.
they're 7 and 10, like I think that's what I have them for, they might be drafting like 10th, right?
Yeah, 10th is tough.
It's tough to get the quarterback.
10th is really tough. But you could probably, if they are that bad, then we're sellers at the trade deadline,
Yeah, maybe.
right? And who are we selling? I don't
I
know.
don't even know. I don't know either.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But nothing that we can get a first round draft, because they better not look at Dexter Lawrence, and because that's the piece we'd be
That would get
looking
you the
at.
most draft capital.
It would get you the most draft capital, and trade him to a team that it's actually needs that defensive tackle, that needs to shore up their run game. We could probably get a second or first for him.
You know,
It's a
the
Pro
Bears
Bowl,
have another
all pro.
second. They have the Panthers second. They're looking at 15-3. It might be nice to have that extra
So,
interior defensive lineman. I'm just saying.
15-3. But yeah, no. No, no, like I said, I think this is a good year for us. I think that as long as DJ stays healthy, which there's no proof, nothing on his sheet says he can stay healthy for a year. So
Nope.
that's the tough part.
Yep.
Like, yeah, people keep talking about, is he going to be healthy from the ACL injury? Can he just be healthy? Like he's had multiple neck surgery as a Giant. Multiple seasons at the end of the year, he has to get his surgery in his neck. That can't be fun.
No. I can't imagine it is.
No, for a human being, it just can't be fun.
No.
I don't even talk about football player. You just got,
Yeah, just as an average normal person, constantly
yes.
having neck surgery or leg surgery, and
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see.
yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We will see. It's still too early. Camp hasn't even started. We're just in OTAs.
The OTAs is when hope springs eternal,
That's
sir.
true.
This is when you're just watching 7-on-7s and them in shorts and a t-shirt. You're like, "Ooh, that was a good catch."
You got
It
15 and
doesn't-
3 seasons in your headlights. So when I was putting the numbers in the spreadsheet, 12 and 5, 7 and 10, 9 and 8, Google Sheets formatted them to dates, right? Because but 15 and 3, it doesn't know what to do with that because there's no 15th month. And we're
So what are you saying? You're just
I just
saying,
left it as
so that
text.
was right.
Everything else is a date. I'm just saying, 15 and 3. That's all. I mean, it seems reasonable. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
But for next week, you have homework. You have to go watch Furiosa, so we can. There's
Ah,
names I want to talk about from this movie, and I can't because they are first ballot Hall of Fame names of characters. And there's a scene. I am not kidding you. There's a scene. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say the names, but I laughed so hard out loud. I was the only person in the theater that laughed. There was only like about 20 people in there, but it was like, "This is my son and my other son," and I was just like, "How can you not like this movie? How can you not hear that these names exist and go, I gotta see this movie. I have to because you'll know when you get there."
I'm gonna try to see it tomorrow.
Oh boy, I hope so. I just wanted somebody else to talk about it with. Chris didn't seem too gung ho about talking about it, so
All right, man.
all right, we gotta jump off this, Harland. All
Yes.
right.
All right, guys. Yeah.